some tough opponents. The Orioles getting it done in the season. Will it be enough? Well, they've got to keep doing it. Keep those pies coming. Tampa Bay, they're next. It's a tough series. The Orioles have the edge by 1 game, but statistically, the Rays have gotten the best of them. They'll try and turn that around in the first of 4. Next, from St. Petersburg, Florida. It's the Orioles on Masson, and they have left Birdland to the home of the Rays. Tampa Bay, the site, first of 4 games. And this is where the Orioles need to improve on that road record they've put up this season. We'll see if they can do it against these Rays. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. Welcome. Great to have you with us for the Orioles. Obviously, it's about winning virtually every ball game as they roll along, trying to get ahead of those clubs that are in front of them, battling for a wild card spot. In the course of a season, we have spent a lot of time talking about truths in baseball in terms of numbers. These seem to be some of the eternal truths, and we thought we'd show you the percentages because we mention them so often. The percentage of time a team scores when the leadoff man gets on base, 50.5%. Big number. Percentage of time a team scores when the leadoff man in an inning gets on with a walk, 40%. The batting average of 2 strikes hasn't changed very much over the years. If you stay at 180 and below, you're pretty much at the average. With a 1-0 count, 270 for hitters. If the pitcher can get that first strike, that number drops down to 225. Of all the numbers in the game, Jim Palmer, that have stayed the same, those are pretty much the same.
Yeah, and then the new one, I always thought it was like 48 to 49%. That was 30 years ago, so that number has stayed the same. Again, if you're a hitter, you want to hit on your terms till you get to 2 strikes. Why? Because you hit 176 if you do. Only the Tony Gwynn's of the world with 80 batting titles, I think, hit over 320 with 2 strikes because he was Tony Gwynn. The other thing is 1-1. What happens on that 1-1 pitch? That's kind of the new number, Gary. If you put the ball in play, and you go behind the hitter 2-1, the numbers go up about 70 points. So, again, Chris Tillman, he knows what he has to do. This will be the 6th start for him against the Rays this year. And, of course, as you mentioned, it's not good enough winning series. The Orioles beat Kansas City in the series. They beat the Red Sox. You almost, as you mentioned, have to win every game. All
right, and to do that, the starting pitching simply has to come around here in the final few games of this season. But this season for the Orioles, Jim, it's not been there.
No, it really hasn't. I mean, the ERA is actually up 1 run a game. Take a look at that. I mean, last year it was 361, 322 at home, which is an amazing number at Camden Yards. So the home runs are up. Obviously, the batting averages are up, and then again, the win down. So, again, Chris Tillman, we know what he's capable of. This is the same guy last 23 starts of 2014, even though it's a different year. 20 out of those 23 starts, 3 runs or less. That'd be a good place to start tonight.
All right, let's see whether or not the Orioles can get that done. And when we come back to the Trop, we will talk with the longtime trainer of the Baltimore Orioles. Richie Van Zels will be our guest. On Masson, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Coons.com. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. Back here at the Trop, a chance before the ball game to talk with Richie Van Zels, 28th season, head athletic trainer, 32 with the Orioles, 39 seasons overall. The Herb Armstrong Award winner for the work done for the Orioles off the field, and joined the Maryland Athletic Trainers Hall of Fame in 2008. Richie Van Zels, why do you do this?
The key is I love what I do. That's basically it. I enjoy what I do. I love coming here every day and helping the players best I can.
All right, I'm going to ask you, there are some things I've always wondered about. You get put in a tough position by the very nature of who you are. You got management wants to know things about the players. Players want to know things about themselves. Maybe they don't want management to know. What are the rules there that trainers live by?
Well, the rule I've always lived by in terms of information going to management about a player is if it will affect them on the field or affect the team on the field or any injury like that, then that will be disclosed. Management will know. I tell the player that. One of my policies has always been with the player, whatever I'm telling them, I also tell management. So it's always the same information. Nothing's ever. Now, obviously, there is a lot of confidential things that I will take to my grave about players that I tell management that's between the player and myself.
Now, is that your decision? I mean, I'm sure the Trainers Association gives you got guidelines and outlines and all that, right?
Yeah, there are ethical guidelines, but that's kind of been sort of my guidelines that I've kind of lived by, and it seems to work for me.
Now, also on the doctor side of it, you also got a line you can't cross there. You're a trainer, not a doctor, and you got to stay on that side of it, I guess. How does that work?
Some of the biggest mistakes I've seen athletic trainers do is forget who they are and what they are and their limitations. And one of the things is as simple as this. We don't really diagnose injuries. We evaluate them to the point that we think they need to be seen by a doctor, and then we get them to the right people.
What's the most important thing you do for a manager?
I think give him the information on the health of the ball club every day. We communicate probably more so about pitching staff and the bullpen more than anything. 85% of what I do has to do with the pitching staff.
How much has that changed over the years as far as the nature of the injuries, the amount of them? I mean, what have you seen transpire over the years?
Well, I you know what? It's funny because, Gary, sometimes people tell me, gosh, you seem busier now than you ever have been. And it really doesn't feel that way. It seems to me like it's always been the same. So from that regard, I don't think things have changed a whole lot. What's changed is probably the technology and the things we have to evaluate injuries, diagnose them, and treat them.
Coming into the business, young man, going to college, whatever, looking at this, what do you say?
I don't know. I don't know what to say. In fact, it's funny. I just had a couple of young students think about going into this business, and I didn't know whether to discourage them or encourage them. But no, it's one of the things you have to understand is you gotta put in the hours. I mean, there is no time clock to this. You gotta love it. You gotta have a passion for it. The hours into it. I've never watched the clock one day on this job. I've always just done the job and gone home after that.
All right. I'll ask you a last question that takes you back to the beginning. Why a trainer for you?
Because my curveball failed me in college. Basically.
Didn't it all of us?
Yeah, that's basically what happened. Probably took the same route as a lot of athletic trainers. I was an athlete. I was fortunate enough that I was a baseball player in high school and a little bit in college. Injured. And just got interested in how they did the therapy in that. Along with that, when I went to college, I'd always had an interest in anatomy and how the body worked in that, so it just kind of fell in place for me.
Well, it's worked very well, and you do a hell of a job, and I thank you for taking time to join us.
Well, thanks, Gary. It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
He's been there so long, I was even there. So that tells you how dedicated he's been. And, you know, he's kind of like coaches, overworked, underpaid trainers. They get the players on the field, make sure that they can play at least hopefully at their peak performance. Can't think for them. You can get them out there.
He does a heck of a job. Take a look at our BGE home game time temperature. Inside 72. Of course, we are in the tropics, raining outside. Humidity up there with showers. BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Take a look at the old starting lineup brought to you by Southwest. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Raimel, Machado, Davis, Jones, Wieters, and Scope, Pierce, Hardy, Alvarez. This month, Manny. Yet some more solid numbers.
So Matt Moore coming off Tommy John surgery, April of 2014. A lot of fastballs. Of course, he used to be able to throw 98. Watch the game he pitched. He gave up 4 home runs in his last game against the Red Sox. So the numbers are up, but he's out on the mound. You can see the righties at 386. Will throw a lot of strikes. And it's not that he doesn't have good velocity, Gary. It may just not have that extra, that life, that last little bit that he always had. And he's very, very easy windup.
Nolan Raimel leading it off for the Orioles, and he will foul that one back. Nolan comes in with a 6-game hit streak and has been more than filling the role in that leadoff spot for the Orioles. So trying to finish up with a big month and getting an opportunity to do that for the O's. Left-hander's delivery on the 1-1 is going to miss outside for a ball. For Raimel during the streak, he has gone 8 for 23, couple of home runs, 7 runs, and 6 RBIs. A very productive streak he's in. Raimel on one up high, goes after it and misses.
Yeah, a couple of fastballs in fastball hitter counts, and again, Moore is very, very, I mean, he's a term they use, balls sneak up on you, it'll jump out of your hand. And there's
that one tailed away really well for him.
So the Orioles seeing two lefties in a row. We saw Henry Owens 6'6", Moore about 6'2", and again the target's in the middle of the plate by Maley, and the ball just runs right off to the outside corner. Perfect pitch.
20-19 versus left-handed starters on the season for the Orioles. Batting average has been about the same now against lefties, righties on the year. Here is Manny Machado. Most of these Oriole hitters have faced Moore a number of times. Manny is 3 for 13 off him. Moore struggling to get back to the form he had when he contended for the Cy Young 2013. He was one of those who got some votes with a 17-4 record that year. Ground ball, he'll snag it, and Machado is retired.
So let's take a look at the Rays defense in a pretty big ballpark. The only really pitcher's park in the American League East. Geyer, Kiermaier, who's a terrific center fielder, Souza Jr., and Longoria, Gold Glove winner, Beckham, Forsythe, Loney, and then a young rookie, Luke Maley, doing the catching.
They've committed the 12th most errors in the American League. Here is Chris Davis. Chris is the DH in this ball game, and will foul it away. Let's take a look at our American Standard. Who's hot and who's not?
Yeah, Davis plays, and you can see why. Geyer plays. He's over his last 13, but he's 3 for 8 for Chris Tillman.
Davis will take it away. Celebrate the season with the American Standard All-Star event. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunities. Chris with the 3 for 15 lifetime against Moore, and he will take the pitch, and it will miss just away. The Orioles have had over the last 4 games 3 pronounced strike zones, and this is that 4th game with Lance Barrett behind the plate. He really favors the pitchers on those close calls. Let's see whether or not that holds up here in this ball game. Taken for a strike.
Yeah, I think we've already seen it. The curveball to Manny Machado. It was a ball off the corner, but one they usually say went around the plate, but he called it a strike. Well, it encourages you to pitch to contact, and of course, if your stuff's good enough, and when Moore's healthy, we'll see if that's the case. He can throw it by you.
And he does. Well, Moore, one of the problems he's had, long innings, over 18 innings, 18.4 pitches per inning. Not in this one. Don't even think about it. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Rays. Jaso, Geyer, Longoria, Forsythe, Loney, and Souza. Beckham, Kiermaier. Maley will be behind the plate. Logan Forsythe's having a very good September.
Yeah, he's having a great year, and Chris Tillman will try. As we mentioned, he's already faced him 5 times, 1 and 2, a couple of no decisions. So again, a lot of fastballs, curveball, a little bit of a slider. Probably threw the best slider against Kansas City that I've ever seen him throw, and then a changeup, which is very effective. So again, he started out 2 and 7, won 6 in a row, and then has been on one of those struggles. So again, awfully good last year, on his way to 13 wins, 16 the year before.
And his first delivery will be outside for a ball. Jaso in the leadoff spot. He is 5 for 22 against Chris Tillman. Obviously, just based on this year alone, when you've made that many starts, hitters have had some at-bats against you, but Chris has had a lot of them over the years against this team. He is 5 and 9 lifetime against Tampa Bay. Here at the Trop, 2 wins, 3 losses. Good ERA, 2.72 in this ballpark. That will be under the feet of Jaso. Little rain coming down, you think, outside? That's live.
Yeah, and that's not a waterfall. That's coming off the roof.
Yeah. You can hear it coming off the roof. 3-0 pitch, and he'll go after it. So the green light.
Wow.
There's a lot of room over there by the dugout, but nice try. Manny Machado, a short hop, said the home plate umpire. And is he all right?
He's kind of playing over on the shift, Gary. He had to come a long way. And again, one of the problems here, you can't ever take your eyes off a ball, so it's hard. Takes one look to see where Matt is, and then now he's coming to catch it. Weeder's a lot closer, and it's actually in the glove and out of it, and then underneath his body.
There's a lot of room here to go after foul balls outside of first and third in front of the dugouts.
Yeah, ball doesn't carry. That's why it's really in the American East the only, I mean the only pitcher's park. And they really pitch well here.
Jaso DHing in the ball game, leading off, and will take the pitch away, and that's not the way Tillman wanted to start this ball game. Free pass.
What was that number we gave you in the opening? 40% of the time they score. Raimel, Jones, Alvarez. Dario Alvarez with a fabulous arm. Machado, Hardy, they've won gold gloves, platinum gloves, Scope, Pierce, and then Matt Wieters with a couple of gold gloves behind the plate for the Orioles. But there is no defense for walks.
So Brandon Guyer up with a runner on. Guyer's had a big year against the Orioles, hitting .389, but right now has not had a hit in his last 13 at bats. And he'll go after that one. Manny Machado gets it. That's going to be one. Scope the relay and a big double play to wipe out the leadoff walk.
Well, Gary, when you're 0 for 13, even though you're 3 for 8 lifetime off of Chris Tillman, you're a little anxious. So you finally throws a strike, and then here's the Oriole defense. Unparalleled turn the double play. Of course, we see him all the time. Machado gets to it quickly. Scope is strong on arm or better. Maybe Cano in that classification. Again, when you get it to him, even though Guyer runs well, it's a double play.
So Evan Longoria will come up with the bases empty and 2 down. .348 hitter, 6 long balls off Tillman, and the pitch will be taken outside. He has faced Tillman more than any other hitter. 16 for 48, 6 homers, 4 doubles in those matchup against the Orioles starter. And a strike taken on the inside corner. So Tillman 1-1. Tillman's got a chance now, and despite the leadoff walk, to have a quick first inning. Longoria will take it away.
Well, in the old days, he's moved over, talking about Chris Tillman, from the third base side of the rubber pretty much to the middle, and the velocity's gone up. But tonight, 86, 88, that's the way he used to start, and he used to be very effective.
Down to third, Manny Machado's got it on the big hop. He will make the play, and both pitchers have good starts, facing only 3. First one completed in the first of 4 here in St. Pete. Princess Anne has won $500 for being selected, $500 more for every Orioles home run hit. Play baseball buck scratch-offs and win up to $50,000 instantly. Learn more, mdlottery.com/baseball. Yes, it's raining. It is really pouring. They expect rain throughout the night and even into the day tomorrow. But inside here at the Trop, 72. Adam Jones coming to the plate. It'll be Jones, Wieters, and Scope against Moore. Adam has knocked Moore around. A .524 lifetime batting average against this left-hander with 2 home runs. And plenty of at-bats to justify. A swing and a miss and a fastball.
Yeah, that's what he was not able to do against the Red Sox with the 4 home runs. When you got in the middle of the plate, and that ball was in the middle of the plate at 92, they were on it.
All his numbers are so high. 8.42 ERA coming into this ball game for this year. Through the lineup, first time opponents hitting .328. It jumps to .387 the second time through, and .323 the third time through. And whether he throws a strike or a ball on the first pitch doesn't matter very much. The averages are over 300 in both cases. Adam will go after one a little bit away and fouls it off.
Yeah, it's just amazing. You can transplant the ligament, which is what Tommy John surgery is all about. You usually take it out, maybe part of one of the thigh muscles, tendon, and you seat it in there. And that happened on April 22nd, and he's already back pitching. 11 minor league. There's the curveball.
There you go, and the answer is yeah. So you struck out by Sean Barber, the first base umpire. That's 3 strikeouts of 4 hitters.
Well, there's a good curveball, and it's good because he throws it under the strike zone. You can see where the bat went. Now, one of the 4 home runs. This is your high ceiling shot. So again, well located. He threw a curveball that Mookie Betts hit for a home run, but it stayed up and it kind of hung on the inside part of the plate. So the good one strikes out Adam Jones.
And that'll bring up Matt Wieters, who takes it for a strike. Wieters also big numbers off Moore. He is 8 for 14, and he has 2 home runs against the Tampa Bay left-hander. Wieters on a chopper. This is where Moore has had enormous problems, incredibly. 2 strike counts. Opposing hitters have an on-base percentage of .390 when he gets a 2-strike count. That's 150 points above the league average on 2-strike counts. 0-2 delivery on the way and taken, and he's gone, and Matt knew it. He just fooled him on that pitch and froze him.
Well, it's almost like they want him to be overconfident. And this is a totally different guy than I saw pitch Saturday against the Red Sox. Of course, the Red Sox better offensive team on the road than the Orioles. The Orioles only average 3.81 runs a game. So again, his stuff a lot better, command a lot better so far.
He starts out with 4 strikeouts. He's already equaled his high in games this season in strikeouts. Pitch is there for a strike on the inside corner to Jonathan Scope.
You know, the one thing about striking people out, unless there's a runner at third, if you have good stuff, they just happen. You execute your pitches. If the other team doesn't hit them. I mean, you look right there, that's 93. So 93 is about 2 miles per hour faster than the average major league fastball, but it looked like it was about 100 as late as Scope was. So they're not seeing the ball.
Jonathan, 9-game hit streak, hitting .324 during the streak. 0-2. Pierce hoping for an at-bat on deck. In the air, left center field. Pretty good wood towards the power alley. Geyer's over. Brendan Geyer puts it away. 6 in a row, retired by Moore to start the ball game. Forsythe, Loney, and Souza will be coming up for the Rays. Chris Tillman.
Yeah, well, whether it's a casino or a roller coaster, that's the kind of ride he's had. 2-2. In fact, his first major league win this year was right here against the Rays, opening day, and then May was a disaster. June, they played well. He pitched better, real good in July, in August, and then September's been a struggle. Said he had a good side, so let's see if again he can pitch well and they can score him some runs.
Logan Forsythe will lead it off, 6 for 17 off Chris Tillman. Takes the pitch for a strike. Chris, in his last outing against Tampa, gave up a season high 7 runs. That was back on September 1st. He has lost his last 4 with an ERA of 8.4, covering 5 outings, and the Orioles have lost all 5 of those games. He taking 4 of the losses himself. So, well, you really got 2 pitchers trying to turn things around in this ball game.
We have one coming off an injury, and the other one just trying to get back to where he was really the last 2.5 years. It started for Chris Tillman when he came up just before the All-Star break, 2012, and got on one of those rolls where he's as good as almost anybody.
1-2 delivery, great location down and in to get the strikeout. Forsythe retired.
Well, Forsythe got, what, 7 consecutive hits when the Rays rolled in. This is a perfect pitch. A bit extra. 2-seamer. He does throw some two-seam fastball, a lot more than years past. Watch the ball run in right to the corner. So good location, right where Matt Wieters put the glove.
We'll bring the veteran James Loney up. Loney getting the start at first base in this ball game. Loney, like many of the players on the Rays over the years, he can move around as far as positions are concerned. First ball hitting towards the middle, right where they weren't. The shift was on, and he just barely had enough room to get that ball through Hardy and Scope, but he did, and he did.
Well, he's on one of these rolls since early August, over 300, and he's the single machine. Doesn't hit a lot of home runs, puts the ball in play, one of the better runner in scoring position numbers for the Rays.
That'll bring Souza Jr. to the plate. He's had a very low average against the Orioles this year, 159, but it's a productive one. Souza's had 3 home runs and 6 RBIs against the Orioles on the season. Runner on at first base. First hit of the ball game for either team. Short lead at first for Loney, and the pitch will be on the outside corner for a strike. Looking down to a third here to see whether or not going to play a little small ball early. This is a ball club that, as we said, they don't score many runs. They are last in the league in that department. And that pitch is inside for a ball. 1-1.
He was part of a 3-team trade. Of course, the big guys was Will Myers, outfielder here in Tampa. He went to San Diego, and of course he had 350 last year at AAA. It is AAA, but put up some great numbers.
Got him on the foot or leg on the back side for Tillman. That'll be the 5th hit batter of the year. 2 on, 1 out.
Might even be worse than that. I think he nailed him in the shin.
Ball on Bones. Ow.
Yeah, somewhere on that right thigh, knee, ball just boring in on you. Yeah, right below the knee, or maybe right in that area. Couldn't get out of the way.
So that'll bring Beckham to the plate. And Beckham has faced Tillman only once. He is 0 for 1. Young player getting a start in the infield at short. Beckham, you see the numbers on the year for him. With runners in scoring position for Beckham, 262. Tampa Bay has struggled getting people home. Next to last in average as a team in this department. Off-speed breaking ball is in there for a strike from Tillman.
Yeah, that's 25 points higher than their team average. He does have power. And Cabrera, Asdrubal Cabrera, kind of stretched a ligament, so he's been red hot. So Beckham, former #1 draft choice, will take his place till Cabrera gets well.
Not on the DL, just a matter of day to day. And that pitch is going to be on the outside corner as well. And the count goes to 0-2.
Tim Beckham does his George Foster, where Foster used to go back and walk right across the plate and look at the outside corner. I think Willie Randolph used to do that.
Do that when you're a veteran.
Yeah.
When you're young, it's probably better not to.
Throw it close.
0-2 delivery on the way, and he went after one upstairs, so Tillman takes care of him in a hurry. That'll be strikeout number 2.
Yeah, really nice pitching. Just go up the ladder. Young hitter, aggressive hitter, 2 strikes.
Kevin Kiermaier now against Tillman. Kiermaier just 2 for 14 off the Orioles starter. Runners at first and second. There are 2 down in the ball game for Kiermaier this year, getting runs home in these situations. 297, good solid number. Oriole defense pretty much straight away on him. Kiermaier will take the pitch up high for a ball. Lineup divided here, as Tillman's kind of a toss-up pitcher, lefty-righties. Certainly the right-handers better home run wise. 16 out of the 18 home runs hit have been hit by right-handers, and a bigger average by right-handers. 1-0 delivery, and that one's going to go to right field. It'll stay up though, and right to Alvarez, and that will do it. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. Bottom third of the order coming up for the O's. David Peralta right now on top in the longest hit streak at 13. Zimmerman and Yasiel Puig. And Encarnacion still going. 43 consecutive games reaching base. Mauer and Joey Votto are second and third. Votto is my selection for the most least recognized player in baseball, having a stupendous season.
Finally healthy.
Yep. Playing really well, but for a club that's really bad. Here is Steve Pearce. Pearce 5 for 14 off Moore. And Steve will take the pitch for a strike. It would figure in this game the final score will be 1-0. Both pitchers will go the distance, since neither of them have done anything for the last month and a half, that they would probably dominate. 0-1 delivery, swung on a miss. Baseball gods like those kind of things.
Well, I was talking to the Rays pitching coach, Jim Hickey, and he was just saying, because you haven't had a lot of guys with Tommy John, but you do lose your extension. You do lose maybe that late life, the ability to stay out of the middle of the plate because you can't make the quality pitches. So I would imagine, I think, the Rays certainly don't want to finish last. They want him to get his starts, get his innings. Pretty much building for 2016.
He's only 26 years old.
Oh, yeah. He's, what an 8th rounder.
Pitch on the way will be popped towards that white roof. Loney coming over. He's got plenty of room, and he will put it away. First out here in the 3rd inning. The O's return home to begin the final week of the regular season 4-game series against the Jays Monday, September 28th. On Wednesday, the 30th, all fans get the Miguel Gonzalez-designed El Mariachi T-shirt. Don't miss the final T-shirt giveaway and a great game at the ballpark. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848. Here's Miguel, who's hoping to get back. He is penciled in right now. Penciled is the key word there for 2 starts. Like Showalter wouldn't say when, but they have mapped out the pitching rotation for the rest of the year, subject to change. And right now, yes, you are scheduled to start 2 more ball games.
Yeah, he's going to do maybe a little bit of a
Hardy up in the air to left field. Geyer's there.
Yeah, the simulated game, and then these things go well. You could get 2 starts. I really think that's important, only because of the injury, certainly didn't pitch up to his capabilities. So it's nice to come back, even if it's only 2 games the end of September, which you never will know if they're meaningful games.
He's getting a lot of help. I don't know who's telling him he's on TV. I guess you can see the red light on the camera, but always get help from your friends over there in the dugout. Here is Alvarez. Moore trying to go through the lineup, 9 in a row. Ariel Alvarez fouls that one back. Alvarez coming in with a 3-game hit streak for the Orioles, his 9th game. A homer, a double for extra base hits. He is 6 for 20 since joining the Orioles.
Well, we know he can throw. He doesn't walk a whole lot. Young hitter out of Cuba. But I'm watching him hit yesterday, and he's hitting some monster shots. Now, it's only batting practice, and Caleb Joseph says to me, some of the best natural power I've ever seen. I said, really? He ends up hit, 16 home runs at AAA? But apparently very strong, and we're just going to have to learn it, hit at this level.
That one in the air to right field. That'll be just shy of the warning track. Sousa's there to put it away, and Matt Moore has retired 9 in a row. Bottom of the 3rd coming up in a scoreless ballgame. Our East winds from the north. Pretty good year right there for the Mighty Jays.
Well, that wind's blowing them wherever they want it to go. That's how good they've been. They get David Price. We talked about he was 6-1. Well, he won last night, so he's 7-1 since they got him. Tulowitzki, maybe separated shoulder, so he may not be back. So again, they are on a roll.
Great offense. 90 wins in their future. First time since '93. They've got Atlanta tonight, and then they'll be hosting Boston. And the pitch will be taken outside for a ball. Luke Maile is working behind the plate in the game, a non-roster invitee. Spring training, just his 4th pro season. 8th round selection in the 2012 draft. Comes out of Kentucky, where he lives now, where he was born, rather. He lives in Massachusetts, down Worcester. And a swing and a miss on a pitch up high. So Tillman's given up 1 single, hit a batter, 1 walk. Got the help of the double play, eliminated the walk in the 1st inning.
They're supposed to be the best defensive catcher in the Rays minor league. See right here now, can hit the hook. Oh, and Chris Tillman gets it going. That curveball is such an important part. He added a changeup 2 years ago when he won 16. Gave him the 3rd pitch.
Maile with a 2-ball, 2-strike count, and he'll put that one up into the roof. Second base, Scope. And Jonathan's got it for the out. Well, as part of the Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, Orioles partnering with Maryland Governor Larry Hogan to raise funds to help out at the Leukemia Lymphomia Society and Ronald McDonald Home. The Orioles contributing $50,000 to the cause. They'd like you to join in too at Orioles.com/charity. And if you do so, you can take advantage of 50% off discount ticket prices for the upcoming Blue Jays series. Jaso, the leadoff batter, he drew a walk his first time up. Orioles go into the big shift against Jaso, the DH, and he tags it. Oh! way up in the air. Does it have legs? No, it hit something. It's stuck. It's gone. It did not come down. Goodbye, somewhere, home run.
Well, yeah, they got all kinds of rules here. If it hits the higher ones, it's a double, and if it stays up there, if it hits the farther ones, and that was one of the farther rings, they're all lettered A, B, C, and D. And
great watching Alvarez, who's still looking up, trying to figure out where the ball went.
Better go get a helmet in case it comes down.
Yeah. So Jaso gets one of the lost ball home runs here at the Trop. At some point in the game, we'll probably have two balls on the field, one being played and the one that will fall out of the roof. So off Tillman, that will be the 19th home run that he has surrendered, but only the third home run hit by a left-hander against him this season. Jaso's, that's only 4 for him and 18 RBI.
So now we know why he was hitting 3-0 the first time.
Yikes.
Leading off the game.
Swing and a miss on a heater to Brandon Guyer.
Yeah, Guyer's not going to be cheated. 0 for 13. Now make it 0 for 14. And Tillman's thrown 3 pitches and he swung at all 3 of them. Of course, they've all been strikes. One for a double play in the first.
0-2 is going to be down low. That's 2 nights in a row now, 2 games in a row. Greg Bird hit one into the catwalk in the ball game yesterday, and now Jaso does it here. He's still trying to figure out where it is too. So a couple of home runs in as many games lost in space. And a 2-ball 2-strike count on Guyer, who hit into the double play his first time up. A 1-0 lead for the Rays on their second hit of the ball game. That one in the air to right. Alvarez can see this one and makes a nice catch right off the blades of carpet. He comes up with it for the second out.
Brandon Guyer says, why me? I need a hit. Now I'm 0 for 15. And it's just a different ballpark. Imagine Dario Alvarez coming out of Cuba. You're playing in the minor leagues, and again, you can't take your eyes off it because you will never pick it up in the roof. But he's a good defensive player and gets to it, gets the leather under the ball for the second out here in the third inning.
That'll bring up Evan Longoria. Longoria grounded out his first time up. He's only had 1 hit in his last 17 at bats. So you've got some pretty extended droughts going here in the lineup. Pitch outside for a ball.
Yeah, the one number that really jumped out is in their last 5 games, talking about the Rays, 2 for 30 with runners in scoring position. And if, I don't care who you are, you just don't score runs.
That's really bad.
Yeah, it really
outside
is.
corner strike. For offense, the Rays are 11th in average, last in runs. They are 9th in home runs. On base percentage is 8th. 10th in walks. Chopped that one off himself in the batter's box for a foul ball.
Yeah, that's why you better hit home runs. If you're going to go 2 for 30, you got to do what Jaso did. It's a bigger racer when you're not hitting in the clutch. And as you mentioned, 237 on the year.
Yeah, they are not an offensive team. This team, as has been the case most of their existence, wins on pitching. That ball is going to be popped up, and that'll be back. Wieters holding his arms out. Where is it? Had no idea. Still doesn't, but it was out of play. You really have to help your teammates in this ballpark, infield, outfield. If you can see it, let somebody know. There's a pretty good chance one of your teammates doesn't. 2-2 delivery, framed it, doesn't get the call, and the count goes to 3-2.
Yeah, Evan Longoria was talking about the umpiring in the sense he said all the players were having a meeting with Joe Torre, and he was just saying that sometimes the umpires are very regimented now because they get graded.
That one off the end of the bat. Raimo playing way over to center, a long run, able to track it down. So he was able to keep an eye on it. Jaso gets the home run, his 4th, and the Rays get a 1-0 lead. It's up there somewhere. By Chesapeake Employers Insurance, Maryland's workers' compensation specialists, and by your local Mazda dealers. Have you ever swung with a Stingray? It's great fun. Not the Stingray, but the Rays. You can actually go in pools with them at different places and swim with them.
Well, we had the late Jim Harden, who was one of my fellow teammates, pitcher. He actually, in spring training, he was a fisherman, stepped on one.
That's not good.
No, it was not good.
Jellyfish and stingrays are not good to step on and bother. Here is Nolan Reimold. 1-0 lead, 1-2-0 for the Rays. Zeros across for the Orioles, and Reimold up for the second time a strikeout victim. His first time up.
Yeah, it really looks like, Matt, a lot more life in the arm. Some of the balls you think are low have good carry to them, and again mixing up his pitch. That's a change up, and very much like Henry Owens with the Red Sox. Used the curve ball, hasn't thrown it a lot. That's the 22% you just saw.
And that one down the line's a fair ball. It'll roll around in the corner, and it will be a double. So Nolan Reimold scoots that one by Longoria, and the Orioles have their first hit.
Yeah, he's really not that far off the line, but I think, and Kevin Cash is going to come out, and this ball, it appeared it goes either right over the bag, maybe just a little cutter, and there's Longo. He's not that far, and I think the ball hit the chalk. So I think it's going to come out and discuss it, but it appeared when we saw it, at least when I saw it the second time, that it actually hit the chalk line.
Reimold waiting down at second base.
And C.B. Buckner standing right there.
Obviously he hasn't
and the other
asked
thing,
for a conference or anything here.
And the other side of it is it doesn't really have to hit the chalk as long as it goes over the bag.
Yep.
So, but it appeared that if it hit the chalk, it had to go over the bag.
Not sure what he may be asking for here, but take a look.
Yeah, so take a look right here. So again, not that far off the line, but right there. Now that ball's over the corner of the bag. And then it gets the corner of the line, and you could see the mark. I mean, you could go down there and actually see it. It's kind of like when you play on hard true tennis.
So he has asked for a conference here. I mean, the only one who's going to be able to help him, if at all, is Lance Barrett, the home plate umpire.
When you play tennis on hard true courts, you can actually see where the ball lands. And as you talked about up at the U.S. Open now, they have the line calls.
This is not a challenge. Can't be under the rules based on where the ball hit.
And again, like I said, it doesn't actually have to hit in fair territory.
So it'll stay as it is. So Nolan Reimold picks up a leadoff double for the Orioles here in the fourth inning. And right away, Orioles get the potential tying run on at second base on their first hit of the ball game. And Nolan's got a 7-game hit streak going. And that will bring up Manny Machado. Well, Machado's done a great job all year in this department, getting him home. See if he can do it here, hitting .299, runners in scoring position. Good stop made on the pitch down low.
We'll see how he plays it. There's the .299. That's the highest of any of the Oriole hitters in the lineup. Caleb Joseph with a better number, not as many at bats.
Holding tight at second, Forsythe holding the runner, Reimold. And a check swing. They want to go down, not go around on it, on a pitch that was inside for Moore. So Moore, after retiring 9 in a row, second time around, Reimold picked up the base hit off him. And the Orioles will try and get some offense going after Jaso delivered the home run in the lead to the Rays. And that one is going to miss inside.
So for the first time has to pitch from the stretch. Of course, as you mentioned, comes in with a very high ERA at 8.42, so he's been doing that for the first time tonight.
A big average with runners in scoring position, 333 against Moore. That ball will be fouled away, so another 3-0 count. Each side has had a hitter go after a 3-0 pitch. Manny Machado, the chance right there.
Yeah, a lot of managers won't allow hitters to do that, but you have to trust the way Manny can hit, his judgment.
3-ball, 1-strike count on him, outfield deep. not a particularly big lead at second, with Forsythe hanging in, holding the runner. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Machado, what an off-speed breaking ball that was.
Yeah, and he chases it. Good one. This is the one Matt Moore wanted him to put in play, and if he did, he probably would have hit it to the left side, and he wouldn't have advanced the runners.
Well, the fans wanting a strikeout. Matt Moore wouldn't mind that either. Manny wanting to at least get that runner over to third base. 3-2 delivery on the way to him, and he'll pop it up. Third base. Slams the bat down. Longoria will put it away. One down. Reimold hangs on at second base. The Orioles are going to close out the regular season with Fan Appreciation Weekend against the Yankees beginning Friday, October 2. There'll be postgame fireworks presented by Johns Hopkins Medicine on Friday. Orioles knit bomber hats, first 20,000 fans 15 and over Saturday, and Steve Pearce Fans Choice bobbleheads presented by AT&T Sunday for the first 25,000 fans 15 and over. 888-848-BIRD for tickets. Some Oriole fans here in St. Pete today. Here's Chris Davis, strikeout victim, his first time up. Davis will foul that one back.
Yeah, you can see a very, very simple. Was a little frustrated that he didn't get to that one, but that tells you maybe a little bit more life on the fastball. But again, just a very, very simple, easy, smooth swing against lefties. And let's see if he gets as good a pitch to hit again. It's a number. Look at that, 293.
Way up from last year for Chris against lefties. That'll be inside. Chris, of course, still on top. As he and Cruz are tied for the home run lead in the American League. He remains second in RBIs here in this ballpark for Chris Davis. It's been a pretty good yard for him to hit in. He's got 21 career home runs against the Rays, and we'll take that pitch at 79 and a 2-ball 1-strike count. There is Reimold, the potential tying run. See how Moore wants to work here, whether he's willing to try and get Davis with a base open.
Well, you talked about those glowing numbers that Adam Jones has, so trying to make your pitch, and if you miss, see so velocity again. What about 15 months, 15 and a half months off of Tommy John surgery hasn't been the problem. You've got the 94, and he's always been one of these guys who could get to the upper 90s and never seemed to overthrow. Special arm.
3-ball 1-strike count. Reimold off second base, and Davis will foul that one back. The big upside for Moore, despite the big numbers he has put up lately trying to come back off Tommy John, one is the fact he's got velocity and he can regain command in all likelihood. So there's a real upside for the future at only 26 years old.
Well, he came up really at the end of 2010 when they're going to the postseason, and big games for him, and then the next year 11-11, and then what you talked about went 17-4 in 2013.
3-2 delivery on the way, and he stays alive, fighting it off.
And each of those years it would be just about a strikeout per inning, and he wouldn't pitch at 97, 98, but he could get there.
He's 15-11 here at the Trop, his home field. Reimold on at second base with a leadoff double, and Davis trying to get him home. Chris with a 3 for 16 off this left-hander. 3-2 delivery again, ground ball to first, big hop. Loney will make the underhand toss. Moore gets there. Reimold moves up to third, but there are 2 down. Time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use O's Couch Cam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Yeah, now, of course, Maley's going to go out. We talked about defensive specialists. Who do you want to pitch to? And he's going to also give him time because he went over and covered.
So Adam Jones, the big 524 average against Moore coming in. Or Wieters, who's 8 for 14. Pick your poison.
Well, that's the problem. If you pitch around Adam and make a mistake to Matt Wieters, then all of a sudden 1-0 could get a lot worse.
So the runner at third base. Moore working out of the stretch with 2 down, trying to protect a 1-0 lead. Adam Jones goes after it in foul territory. And it will be out of play just on top of the Rays dugout roof.
Yeah, and Adam took a look down at Longoria, who actually plays about a step past third base because he knows that Adam Jones, if you play back, will drop the bunt down. Doesn't do it often. Now he'll move back a little bit. Only a step.
Adam with a big average we talked about. He is 11 for 22. That gets you to that 500 mark against Moore, including the strikeout in the ballgame. 0-1 count, 2 down. Runner off third base. Jones in the air, center field, got a lot of it. Kiermaier will have room and will make the catch. Some 400 feet away, and these fly balls, a couple of them, we've seen him just die here at the Trop. 1-0 Rays. In the ER.com.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a low batting average, and that's you got El Duque at the top, Max Scherzer, who is now with the Nats. I'm sure he might have pitched here, but most of those numbers is when he was with the Tigers. And then Buchholz, and how about Miguel? Miguel always pitches well here. But then look at the record, not a lot of run sports. Because when you pitch here, you usually have to pitch a good game because they don't give up a lot of runs.
1-0 ball game. Jaso's home run up on the board for the Rays. Forsythe, Logan Forsythe, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Forsythe will be followed by Loney and Sosa. Adam Jones moves in a little bit in center, and the pitch will be taken down low for a ball. Tillman a walk, 2 strikeouts. Moore no walks and 4 strikeouts to start the ball game. One delivery on the way, outside for a ball from Chris. These two teams have played extra games here, of course, because of the problems in Baltimore when they were supposed to play Tampa Bay there. They came down here. So this is the most regular season games 2 clubs have played at one venue since the Pirates and the New York Giants played at the Polo Grounds in 1955. 13 games. And these 2 ball clubs doing that. They will have played 13 here this year. That ball to center field. Jones. Forsythe out of there. 1 down. Not receiving MASN mobile alerts due to new regulations. Some Orioles fans have stopped receiving mobile text alerts from MASN. To rejoin and receive in-game updates, team news, and exclusive prizes, just text the word Orioles to 29292. James Loney picked up a base hit. First time to the plate, shift on. Scope goes back into shallow right field. Tillman with a quick windup goes the other way. Base hit into left center.
That's what he does.
2 for 2.
299, 290, and that average going up. A couple hits tonight, he'll be up over. He'll be at 280. Remember when he came over? I remember him being a Dodger. He drove in a lot of runs. They didn't hit enough home runs. And when Joe Madden, who is now with the Cubs, was the manager, got him, he said, listen, he's a good defensive player. He gets on, and he can pick it over at first. Now, again, as a big guy, a lot of times you just pencil those guys in to hit your home runs, but he's not one of those guys.
Steven Souza Jr. will stand in. He has been hit by a pitch in the only at bat. Hit number 3 for the Rays. Runner on, 1 down here in the 4th inning, and kind of the ball game you would expect so far here in this ballpark, with Matt Moore and Tillman both off to good starts. 1-0 count. That'll be outside for a ball in the dirt, snagged by Wieters. 49 pitches now for Tillman.
Yeah, Souza with the fractured left hand, and he spent a little bit more than a month on the disabled list. Getting to play in the major leagues for the first time, really the second time. They played briefly with the Nats last year.
Souza waiting on it, and he got around on it and will foul it off.
Well, it's great power, and right there, that's a good pitch. He turns on it. The only place he could hit it without going to get a new bat.
His 15 home runs are tied for third among the rookies, even with the time off that Jim mentioned because of injuries. Trailing Carlos Correa's got 18, and Miguel Sano, who's got 16. The outstanding Minnesota third baseman. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Souza waiting on it, fouls that one right straight back.
Well, he could steal. I was talking to some of the people, and they said sometimes the only thing I've seen when you watch games, he for a young hitter guesses a lot with 2 strikes, and that can get you in trouble. Usually you just kind of scuffle and look for the fastball and adjust off it. He'll take a lot of third strikes.
2-2 delivery on the way, breaking ball that'll be outside. Scout was taking a look at Susan, saying, does he always take pitches right down the middle for strike 3? He was asking some of the folks who've seen more of Souza than we have. The answer seemed to be yes. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Runner off first base going. Pitch outside. Weeder's throw unnecessary. That was a walk.
Yeah, that ball easily could have got into center field. Well, not what Chris Tillman wanted to do.
So now there are 2 on. That is the second walk surrendered by Tillman. The Orioles are proud to support the 15 Ride to Conquer Cancer 2-day 150-mile cycling event. Funds raised, support Viter Cancer Research, and you can be part of it. The ride takes place Saturday and Sunday and will start and finish at RFK Stadium. So get information and register at ridetovictory.org. Here is Beckham, a strikeout victim, his first time up. First and second, 1 away. Double play depth for the Orioles, and that'll be fouled down the line. So Beckham, chance for RBI here, and this we talked about earlier. This is where they have not produced. They are 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position in this ball game. They have failed to get a hit in each of their last 4 losses with a runner in scoring position. 0-1 count, 1 out. Beckham will take it, and it's down low, 1-1.
Yeah, I just look at the glove, and then I look at where we're talking about Matt Weeder's target, and then where Chris Tillman throws it, and sometimes not in good sync tonight. The velocity has vacillated. We've seen him throw 92, 93, 94 in recent weeks, even though that hasn't been real successful. But needs to make a good pitch here.
1-1 delivery to Beckham, and got him to go after 1 away.
And he did.
1-2. Pretty good heat.
And good movement, good location. Blown away works.
Beckham playing in his 72nd game. A lot of time in the infield, and as we said, at short tonight. He said only 188 in limited at bats against the Orioles in his career. 1-2. And Beckham 9 irons at foul.
Yeah, good curveball. Surprised he could even hit it. Yeah, number 1 draft choice 2008. Had defensive problems coming through the minor leagues. Knee surgery last year, ligament tear. And now in the big leagues.
And a chance to take advantage of an opportunity to play is what he's got. He had only 5 major league games prior to this season. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tillman's delivery to Beckham right there. And Beckham is gone. 3rd strikeout, and 2 of those have been against Beckham.
Yeah, it's almost when the ball went by, he said, oh, wait a minute. I think Lance Barrett, he's got a big strike zone because he thought this ball was low. But it's around the knees. This would be a good angle right here. And this year, even though the hitters don't like it, more low pitches. I mean, just, what, an inch or 2 below the knees, getting called more than ever. That was one.
So now Tillman with 2 down, chance to get out of the inning. Kiermaier flat out to right field, his first time up.
Yeah, got a change up and hit it right at Alvarez.
Good strike at the knees again. Pretty good lead at second. Loney. Souza on at first base. It's the batter that Tillman wants right here and get out of the inning.
Well, he can hit some doubles, 22 of them, and then he can run 13 to triples.
And he gets one to center. Jones makes a great catch. Adam Jones saves 2 runs and ends the inning as Tillman gets the benefit of the Gold Glove in center field. And Kiermaier, for the second time, hits a ball hard. And another Oriole, Alvarez the first time, Jones this time denies him a big hit. 2 are left on. It remains a 1-0 ball game. Put a big hurt on the Pirates. They won it 9-6, 17 hits. Rizzo went 2 for 4, homer, 2 RBIs. So the Pirates, for the moment, with the Cardinals playing, are 4.5 games behind. They've lost 3 in a row. The American League West race 46 days ago. Texas trailed Houston by 8 games. They have now taken the lead 1.5 games over Houston. 6 straight wins. Ooh, la la. Los Angeles Angels, they are trying to go at it along with the Twins for a wild card spot, and the Angels travel to Houston for 3 games following that series. So some good races still going on and some big games. And in those races, every time you win or lose a game, the whole world changes. Matt Wieters, strikeout victim, his first time up, swing and a miss, drop bat on that one, and Moore goes ahead of him 2 strikes.
Yeah, I mean, the Twins are only 5 games behind the Yankees. A lot of clubs trying to get into the wild card neighborhood.
Get to play that one game. You're not going to win the division. Shift now moves, playing him to go the other way in the infield, and the pitch will be way up high and away. 1-2. Shortstop had been over on the other side of second base with a full shift. They move out of that based on the count. And the 1-2 delivery on the way. Breaking ball. It's foul back. Maley, a little smile there as that one got a piece of him on the way by.
Oh, arm. A lot of times with nobody on, you'll try to get it behind the shin. Protect.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Moore's delivery will be inside for a ball. Count goes to 2-2 on Matt Wieters. And Matt coming around to ask Lance Barrett about the count. 2-2 pitch by the lefty, and again a foul ball to hold the count. Orioles come in on the road 29-45. They should not equal their worst road record. That was back in 2011 when they won only 30 games on the road. They are 1 shy of that right now. Plenty of road games left. 2-2 delivery, and Wieters will get down swinging.
Yeah, I tell you what, he doesn't look like he's swinging well. I don't know if the wrist still bother him, the one he fell on the other night, but check this swing out. Now, it's a pretty good fastball, but it's 92, and it just does not look like the Matt Wieters, especially from the right side. You could see him grimace as he rolled the wrist.
5 strikeouts. And the first pitch fouled away. Jonathan Scope flied out to left field his first time up. So that's a high in strikeouts in a ball game this year for Matt Moore. And remember, it's only his 9th start of the season. But he'll take it any way it comes here as he tries to get himself back into the rotation and back into shape for a full year next year. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Scope. And fouled straight back. Couldn't get a hold of that one. Jonathan, a hot bat.
Yeah, real hot. There you go. 9-game hit streak, but high average. Home runs, RBIs. Using the whole field. If you make a mistake with a breaking ball, he's putting a lot of quality at bats. Learning at this level. There's a curveball that he fouls off. That was a good one.
Got on top of that one. And the 1-ball, 2-strike count still holds here. Orioles 8 wins, 7 losses against Tampa Bay on the season, 8-7. But that is the only positive number against the Rays that the Orioles have. The Rays have out-hit them 236 to 211. They've outscored them 55 to 56 now to 50. They've out-homered them 19 to 16, and they've out-pitched them.
Well, that's the shocker. The out home, and because the Orioles usually, we have those numbers, they don't hit home runs not very often. Something like 8-35 when they don't home it.
Yet the Orioles have the advantage by 1 in the series. Scope's going to go to right field. Will it stay up long enough? It's going to fall in, base hit. That little curve on it. Souza had to come over to get it, and Jonathan Scope's got a 10-game hit streak. New high for him. He's on with a single.
Yeah, so that's again things. Oh, it's heaven when we hit home runs. 63 and 39. When we don't, we'll struggle. But that's a perfect example. He fouls off a good breaking ball and then fights one off. Now last year probably would have punched out. Struck out 140 times.
So the Orioles come away with their second hit. Reimold had the other, a double in the 4th inning, leadoff double, and was stranded. Infield shifts around on Pierce. Steve will take it inside for a ball. He popped out his first time up.
And the Rays know. Chris Archer knows. Joe Kelly knows. If you make a mistake, Steve Pierce averaged not where it was last year, over 290, but home run power. And that's what dumping a single in the right field does.
He's hit 5 home runs in this ballpark. Trying to jump on another one right. Fouled back. 5 of the 8 that Steve's had against the Rays in his career have come here at the Trop.
Yeah, so you take that pitch, which was a ball. I mean, it wasn't much of a ball, but the difference between hitting, this was a critical pitch for both hitters and pitchers, 1-1 pitch. You take it's 2-0. Moore's got to throw a strike. Now he can kind of work on it.
Pierce will take him right there. He knew it. Talking to himself as he backs away.
Well, it tells me, even if you're kind of looking at it, how good the curveball is tonight. Here's your Nissan. You give up on it. The Nissan pitch track. It's going to be high, and then it swoops down into the zone.
1-2, 1 away. Scope on at first base. Morris delivered to Pierce, and he got him. 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, right on the corner. With a little extra miles per hour. 93. Maley sits in the middle of the plate. Ball runs right to the outside corner. Well, you better get used to that, because Drew Smiley, that's what he did against the Red Sox. He struck out 11 in 6 innings. Hit that outside corner, change speeds, occasional breaking ball.
Quick toss.
So you get to see another lefty tomorrow night.
Orioles have changed their rotation in this series. They've taken Ubaldo Jimenez out of the rotation. Orioles wanted to get Tyler Wilson in, so he'll pitch tomorrow night against Drew Smiley. Pitch up high for a ball. Chen will go in game 3 against Erasmo Ramirez, and then Gosman against Jaco Odorizzi. So Tyler Wilson is the add-in. Jimenez is going to start Washington series, according to Buck Showalter. 1 delivery on the way, and a strike in the outside corner. Hardy flied out his first time up. 2 down. Runner on at first base. JJ, 280 hitter, a lifetime against some pretty good pitching this Rays team has had. Some real good pitching. And 7 career home runs off him. 2 of those hit here. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way, and Hardy will take it inside. Tampa Bay has played in more games decided by 2 or fewer runs than any other team in the majors. 82.
Yeah, I thought it was only 55, but they have 51 run games.
Yeah. And on the inside corner for a strike. I'll tell you, talk about having to pitch tough. 82 games. final score is a 1 or 2 run difference.
But I really think that doesn't make it easier to win, right? But that's a mindset for this whole franchise. I mean, if you're going to pitch on this ball club, you're going to have to be able to pitch under duress. Close games. That's what they do.
2-2 delivery on the way to Hardy inside. So Jonathan Scope will be moving over there at first base. Loney had backed off on the last pitch. Now with a 3-ball 2-strike count, he'll stay behind him.
Yeah, JJ's last home run was July 29th.
Pitch on the way to Hardy in the air to right field. Souza was playing fairly shallow and will put it away. Today we remember a great friend and partner in this business. Milo Hamilton, 88 years old, passed away today. 60 years of broadcasting with the Astros for 27 years. A good friend, recognized by the Hall of Fame. We'll miss you. Islands of Sarasota, not far away here on the Gulf Coast. Go beyond the stadium to Siesta Beach, named winner of the 2015 TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice Awards for beaches. You can get information, make plans at visitsarasota.org. Orioles spring training home just down the road. Bailey will lead it off. 1-0 ball game. Jaso the home run in the 3rd inning. And that has been it. 1-3-0 for the Rays, 0-2-0 for the Orioles. Bailey popped out his first time up. Jaso top of the order. And Brandon Guyer. And that pitch will be in the outside corner.
Yeah, Bailey, a 205 hitter down at AAA Durham. In a defensive stalwart, as you can see. Calling a shutout tonight so far.
That'll be up high. Weeder's going up to get 6th start for Tillman against this Rays team this season, including the opening game in which he won, giving up only a run on 4 hits in that ball game. 2-ball 1-strike delivery on the way, and the ball tagged to center field. Jones turns around, back to the plate, finds it, and catches it. A couple of plays in a row for the Orioles center fielder. Well, your favorite Orioles are back with their favorite dogs and cats in the 16 Orioles Pet Calendar. Proceeds from the 16-month calendar benefit Barks, Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. Calendars are available at Oriole Park or at the official Orioles team store in York, PA, or you can order one at Orioles.com/petcalendar.
Order a dog?
Nope. Nor a player, actually. But you might get the calendar.
Well, you're a dog type of guy, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Used to be cats.
Used to be cats.
And it's dogs.
I like cats.
Is it dogs or a dog?
Dog.
Too bad.
No, it's
He's
not
going to be lonely.
She.
Bella is going to be.
Bella will not be lonely. There'll be many people around throwing little rubber balls and bones and blankets. And
for you or the dog?
Not for me. Dog's on its own. Here is Jaso. And a swing and a miss.
Yeah, good change up there.
Tony La Russa would be proud. The California animal shelters were very active, helping us find a puppy. 2-1 pitch on the way, and that'll be foul back. And a 2-ball 2-strike count. Jaso, the home run, is 4th of the year. And also drew a walk taken out on a double play in the 1st inning.
He's a ideal leadoff hitter. I mean, he's not going to steal bases like Ricky Henderson. But high average, will take a walk if you'll walk him. Knows what he wants to hit. Concussion last year, so he really doesn't catch, but came up through Tampa Bay as a catcher.
29th game in which he's hit leadoff, and he's hitting .320 in that spot. Fouled away, and of course has a DH, which you don't see a lot of.
Yeah, he's back and forth. Yeah, he got back here because they traded Dennis Opus to Oakland, and then Oakland used him as a trade chip, and he's now playing for Kansas City and playing well.
3-ball 2-strike delivery by Tillman down to first base. Pierce will go to the bag and record the out. Jaso is retired. 2 down here in the 5th inning. Tillman doing a good job. Couple of walks, 3 strikeouts Home run by Jaso, the only run. Loney's had a couple of singles off him. Those are the only other hits. And
very
efficient.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to really throw 10, 13, 11 on occasion. And as we mentioned, the average pitch count is up a little bit this year. Almost 17. So he's right in that range.
2 down, bases are empty. Brandon Guyer robbed by Alvarez in right field in the 3rd inning. And a fine catch. Now 0 for 15. Breaking ball, and you saw the jellywag right there. He wanted to go, but just not expecting the pitch and could not get it timed. 1-2. Tillman working quickly here. Fastball up.
Not one of those nights for Chris where he's had max velocity, but really making good pitches. Stay out of the middle of the plate. See if he gets blown away here. It's funny when you throw that pitch and your sides, and he said he had a good one the other day. It's predicated on that. Start down and away and move the ball. So if you do that often enough, if you miss like that, you feel the touch allows you to hit the corner.
And another one that had to be golfed foul in order to protect against the inside strike. So Guyer holds the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chris, this year, that 1-3 record against the Rays, his ERA against them this year, 4.8. 13 runs, 9 in the 3rd innings, previous games. That ball in the air to center. Jones again has to go back. He's got this one lined up though. And will make the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning. So tight ball game. Pitching as expected, dominating our Mazda do-ups, Alvarez, Reimold, and Machado. They were 8-16 first 24 games of the year. 100-game mark. They were 4 below 500. Now they are in first place. Joey Votto, look at the numbers he has put up since the All-Star break. He is 7th in the league in average, 7th in home runs with Cincinnati. And for Chris Davis, more than 40% of the balls he has put up in the air in the second half have been home runs. That is an astronomical number. And Chris Davis has it here in the second half of the year. So some great second halves going on there. Orioles trying to find at least one to get this thing tied up, maybe get more out of there. Alvarez will lead it off, flied out to right field his first time up. He'll go there again. This one headed to the corner. Souza there, and he's got it.
Yeah, it looks like a routine play, but the ball sliced into that corner just keeps going away from you. But again, the hang time allowed him to get underneath it.
Had a note on that Texas note we showed you with that 48-52 record in the first 100 games. There have only been 4 teams ever to have won 48 or fewer in their first 100 and gone on to make the postseason. So Texas in a position to make history there in that regard.
Yeah, Kansas City was 50-50, so that would be 2 wins more, and they go all the way to what, Game 7 of the World Series last year?
Out of the wild card.
Yeah.
Pitch taken down low. Ryan the double, and he is struck out. 1 away. Tampa Bay's got to be excited about the performance by Moore as the Orioles are by Tillman so far in this game. That one a little up and foul back.
Well, you get Nolan lead-off double, and then you just can't situationally hit your way to get him to third, and Moore pitches out of trouble.
30 wins, 21 losses in his career. Just the 1-4 mark this year. Coming back mid-season from that Tommy John. Breaking ball will just miss outside. Melee gave it an extra second.
Yeah, one of those pitches, I imagine, if you're a hitter, you hold your breath. We mentioned the strike zone can be a little bit big. The ball did go around the plate.
2-2 delivery.
And there's a good
man. That's a nasty pitch.
Yeah, that one, you know, the curveball against the Red Sox on Saturday night when he threw the 4 home runs was rolling. This one, this is swooping. I mean, perfect pitch, good break, stay on top of it, Talked again about building up arm strength after Tommy John, and you think it's going to be out over the plate, and it just keeps coming. And you can't imagine how tight the spin is on a good curveball unless you stand at home plate.
So 2 quick outs. Here's Manny Machado. Manny will take the pitch away. Manny has popped out and grounded out. 2 down, nobody on, 1-0 lead. Real good pitcher's duel underway in game 1 of the 4-game set. That one he breaks over the outside corner for a strike. He's had as many as 11 strikeouts in a game in his career. He's got 7 in this one, which is a new high for this season. And the fans want another one. 1-2 delivery to Machado, foul back.
Yeah, you look at Luke Maile, a lot of the signs, even on fastballs, are not exactly on the corner. It's almost like Matt Moore has so much late life, something that he has lacked. Or maybe his pitching coach talking about it. But tonight, that's not the case.
1-2 again, bounced it out front. Maile diving out to stop it.
Yeah, and this is kind of important because what if you get a hitter to swing and the ball goes to the backstop? So watch him just go out. Again, best defensive catcher in their organization, and that ball even almost looked like it hit a divot and made a left turn. So it's just anticipating it, and you know there's going to be top spin because of the curveball, the tight spin. Here comes another one.
Ground ball towards short. Beckham, and a 1-2-3 inning. Well, these pitchers continue to duel it out as the home run by Jason in the third, still the only one up. By the Maryland Fire Chiefs and Maryland State Firemen's Associations. Email mdfirevolunteer@gmail.com to volunteer with your local fire rescue and EMS. And by your local Mercedes dealership. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer here at the Trop. For the first of 4, the Rays have the 1-0 lead. Game 2 tomorrow night, 6:30 O's Extra, 7 o'clock for the ball game. Tyler Wilson, Drew Smiley are the scheduled starters for Game 2.
Well, there it is. A lot of fastballs, well located, with the exception of the one to John Jason. That's the home run.
Longoria takes a strike in the outside corner. Longoria is grounded out and flied out. So his struggles continue. 1 hit in his last 18 at-bats. And the off-speed pitch that time with break is in there for a strike.
Yeah, so I asked him, you are the only really, other than, as it turned out, Logan Forsythe, a legitimate home run guy. You ever get any pitches to hit? And he goes, yeah, but you try not to think about it.
Yeah.
And it's, because you can't go chasing. If you do, the average will really go low. And he said you just got to try to make the most of your opportunities, which is a lot easier to say than to do. And obviously, you're going to pitch to him here because he's leading off an inning.
1-2 delivery. This is where Tillman has had problems this year and has improved it tonight. Leadoff batters in an inning coming into the game were hitting .321 against Chris. And he only retired 59% of leadoff batters. Now tonight, the only leadoff batter on was Jaso with a walk in the first inning. 1-2 pitch on the way, will just miss outside, fighting for that outside corner strike.
It's a great attempt to make the perfect pitch down and away. And it just, Dave Wallace, the Oriole pitching coach, says if you can execute that pitch, you have to have a good windup. And that's why they teach that.
And that one close again. Wieters framing that.
A little cutter that misses.
So the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Longoria. Forsythe and Loney. 3, 4, 5 in the order for the Rays. Longoria deep in the batter's box. Open stance. 3-2, and he got him. Went right back out there, and Longoria talking to himself as he chased ball 4.
Well, you got to respect him because he has hit 5 home runs against the Orioles, and this is again the perfect pitch. Nice little cutter. It's not a curveball. That's a bigger break. So Put it off center, throw it kind of like a cutter, slider, and again he gets to chase out of the zone. Gutsy pitch.
That's 4 strikeouts for Chris Tillman. And here's Logan Forsythe, a strikeout victim, and he's flied out. Down the line, just missed. Foul ball. Manny Machado doing a little umpiring there and had the correct call. Gave it that foul ball ruling.
Yeah, Forsythe, what a year he's had. Second to Longoria in home runs, most hits, most doubles. It's one of those years, and Nick Franklin came over in the David Price trade. He was supposed to play and then got hurt.
Right there.
Yeah.
Well, almost every offensive category for Forsythe is a new career high this year.
He came over and talked to him last year, and he had one of those plantar fascia problems, and he said, and what happened early in the spring, he never really could impress him in San Diego, and he said the worst thing to ever happen is when you're trying to come to spring training to make a ball club and then you get hurt. This year, Franklin gets hurt, and they say, here, you're going to play. He's having a monster year.
1 down, 0-2 count. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Outside doing. 4 left on so far for the Rays, only 2 by the Orioles. Orioles have had only 1 runner over to third base in the ball game. That was Reimold, 4th inning leadoff double. Got the third with 2 away, and that's where he stayed. Here's the 1-2 delivery by Tillman. Jammed him. And fouled off for the foul ball.
Yeah, and he flat out wears out lefties. Of his 16 home runs, 10 of them against left-handed pitching. It started off Wei Chen opening series. And he had a home run, I think, in the 4th inning. And Wei Chen got a big lead early and couldn't get the win because he didn't go long enough.
Outside with that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tillman at 90 pitches. He's had an efficient night. Trying to get through the 6th. 2-2 delivery on the way and foul back. He just got a piece of that one. Count will stay at 2-2 on Forsythe.
Now you start looking at run support. In Chris Tillman's last 5 games, they've only gotten him 7 runs. But in one of those games, in fact 2 of them, he got 19 and 13 runs. So again, the run support may be a little bit higher than it really is, 4.84, but that's 32 runs in 2 games. So lately, the Orioles have not been scoring a whole lot of runs when he pitches.
Showalter particularly happy that Tillman's working here in the 6th inning. He's short in the bullpen tonight, not in bodies, but in available bodies. That ball is going to be popped up first base side. Pierce charging. Will get and will put it away. And there are 2 down here in the 6th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or transmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Game prepared. I've got my towel. It works. I'm folding it.
Well, maybe they came in when the downpour was going.
Yeah.
I need the towel.
And a pretty blow, too. 2 down, nobody on. Here's Loney, 2 for 2. He's had 2 singles, both times stranded at second base. Loney goes after one that he's way out in front of that time for a strike. Tillman went 6 innings against Kansas City. That was 4 starts ago. Last time he has reached that mark. And a timeout asked for at the plate. 0-1, 2 down. Chris with the 9-11 mark coming into the ball game. That ball goes to left. They weren't playing him there. It'll be a fair ball into the corner. Reimold chasing it down. On his way to second base is Loney, and he's having the night. He is 3 for 3.
Well, 2 years ago when he hit .299, nobody, and I mean nobody, hit more line drives. Line drive percentage was higher than any American League hitter. Well, again, you think you got him defense. They bunch him in the outfield, and then little cutter, he just slices it off the end of the bat and right into the corner for a double.
With that double and the 3 hits tonight, Loney is now 8 for 35 off Chris Tillman. And another chance for the Rays to add a run. They left a runner in scoring position in both the 2nd and the 4th inning. Both times it was Loney who's out there now. And a swing and a foul tip. Souza has been hit by a pitch and drawn a walk in the game. Tillman will try and leave another runner out there. Rays 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. One delivery on the way, foul back. Tillman gets ahead of him.
Yes. The first pitch was a really good slider, but it was a ball. He swung at it. That ball was out of the zone. He swung at it. Now he's in a hole. It's the kind of hitter that you respect because of the power ability. If you make a mistake, a lot of times you can hit it right out of the ballpark. 15 home runs.
That will be fouled back. So the rookie with an 0-2 count protecting on that one. He's got the most home runs by a rookie since Evan Longoria in 2008 for those 15 he's put up.
Yeah, a ton of strikeouts, 131. That leads the Rays.
Oh, 2 count, 2 down. Big lead at 2nd. Outside with a fastball. Yeah, Tillman's gone to try and get these right-handers to chase.
And he's only been up 329 times. That's a lot of strikeouts.
As Babe Ruth said, don't be afraid to strike out if you want to play this game. Easy for him.
On his way to 60 home runs.
Yeah. Somehow he got a piece of that, fouled it back. That was right in off his hands that time. Pulled him in and nicked it back to the backstop. Stays at 1-2. Good battle. No action in the bullpen either. Bullpen. 1-2, 2 down. Loney, good secondary lead. Oh, that's there for a strike, but it won't count. A timeout. And apparently asked for by Souza. The umpire will always point to the catcher if the catcher is asking for the timeout. And Lance Barrett did not point to the catcher.
Very cat-like by home plate umpire Lance Barrett.
See where he asks. Look back at second base. 1-2 delivery on the way. Will be outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Ball game where every run really matters. As we are in the 6th inning and there's only one of them on the board. He only got 6 hits. So as this worked this to the 7th at bat, Tillman wants the signs again. And the 2-2 delivery to him, and that's outside.
Yeah, there's a good take. That's the same pitch he swung at on strike 1, and then he recognized it and took it. Yeah, the type of game, Gary, where, boy, you just can't give in. You're not getting any runs. You know pitch count is getting up there. You know Beckham's on deck.
Bullpen started to warm up.
Yeah, right on your, it's right around the corner, or we'll take a chance with the next hitter.
3-2 delivery, fouled off. Nice play. Here's Chaz Rowe just starting to throw in the bullpen. 3-2, 2 down, a 2-out double by Loney. He's at second. You see the 9th pitch of this at bat. Loney was getting so far off. Jonathan Scope now has moved over. He was getting a very big secondary lead. 2 delivery on the way and walked him. So the 3rd walk surrendered by Tillman. 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 4th, and now 1 here in the 6th. 2 on, 2 down. Dave Wallace on his way out.
might be a little breather because I think Chris did exactly what he intended to do, was either make his pitch, and he almost did on 2-2 slider. Maybe just did he ever really have to calm down Chris Tillman? Not going to spend a whole lot of time with a veteran pitcher. By the way, get this guy out. That would be probably the best advice he could give him. There's the number you were talking about. And Chris Tillman in 2015 has not been the pitcher we've seen since the middle of 2012, and those numbers reflect it. Tonight is a whole different. I think he's really going to have gotten a lot of runs, but he's made some outstanding quality pitches.
This has been a real good outing for him. Now he's got to get that final out. Beckham has struck out twice in the game, once swinging, once called. Tim Beckham, 2 on, 2 down. Beckham outside, pick off first, hitting. Ball gets away, and a runner's going to go to third. Loney goes to third base. It'll be an error on Wieters on a very tough play. Wieters had him off the bag. Souza by a long way. The ball hitting.
Yeah, heads up play, and again they're just hoping they can throw behind him. Here comes Pierce, and then the throw is into the runner, and you're very lucky it didn't go off the top of his body into right field, because that probably would have been a run. Loney does not run well, but he's running on the play. Got him somewhere up on the back or the shoulder. Again, remember the early August, the broken left hand on the disabled list. About 5 weeks.
Orioles take a risk, trying to get it out.
They're trying to get out of the bench. Yeah, makes sense. Right here, there's the throw. Well, that one angle we showed, he was way off the bag, way back.
Ryan Mattis now up in bullpen as well. With Kiermaier, a left-hander, due after Beckham, if it goes that far. So 1-0 count, 2 down. Now the runner at third base, Loney, on the error charged on the throw by Wieters. First and third. 1-0 game, 6th inning. And this has been the one where Tillman has really had to work.
Oh, and just remember that 2 for 30 number coming in, the runner in scoring position numbers for the Rays. That certainly can change if Beckham gets a hit. And he is a better hitter in these situations than normal, about 25 points higher.
Missed outside, 2-0. And Tillman's tank maybe closing in on E. 2-0 count, 2 down. Pulling that coming close to that season high in pitches thrown. Delivery on the way, and that'll be foul back. Somebody asked me the other day, who started pitch counts? I don't have an answer for that.
Well, I think, when I started, one of my greatest stories was keeping my first chart for early. Mike Ware sees our Tovar got it, let it off with a 5-2 lead. 135th pitch. I walked down the end of the bench. I said, Mr. Weaver, that's his 135th pitch. He said, why don't you get your down the other end of the bench, and I'll let you know when he's tired. That was
the world didn't start it.
No.
2-1 count with 2 down, and a broken back ground ball goes off the glove, and everybody will be safe. Loney scores the second run on a shattered bat grounder that Tillman had deflect off his glove.
Yeah, he probably wishes he had to try to field it, and here comes, and not for this reason, but again, it's not hit very hard. You try to read the ball off, and he's a pretty good fielder, but again, it's behind him. So it's a pretty routine ground ball. You can see Scopes playing up the middle, and it turns out a bad break.
And that will be it for Chris Tillman. He will leave here in the 6th inning. A couple of runs in off him. Beckham with a single drives him out of the game.
And he does. Makes a lot of good pitches tonight. Not a lot of run support. Beckham down. So again, the ability to use all his pitches. Longoria strikes out. And there are the numbers. Breaking ball good, change up good, arm action good. And Again, they don't get them many runs. Our AT&T call to the bullpen. AT&T, proud partner of the Baltimore Orioles. AT&T, mobilizing your world. Brian Mattis to the rescue, hopefully.
2 on and 2 down. Kiermaier goes after it and fouls it off.
Yeah, there are the numbers. Sliders, the breaking balls along with the curved ball. And again, the record. A lot of strikeouts, more than 1 an inning. And usually does a good job against left-handers.
Kiermaier and a wave on that one. Kiermaier's 242 off lefties, 266 off right-handers.
Yeah, Brian, probably the last 3-4 games, the home run to Travis Shaw, who wears out lefties, a left-handed hitter, that tied the game up the other night. And then the mistake to Greg Bird on an 0-2 slider up at Yankee Stadium for a 3-run home run.
0-2 and a turnover down to first base. Pierce having to wait, doesn't get it. Run's going to score. Throw to the plate. Not in time. Tag not made by Wieters. And the ball's not gone out of the infield, and the Rays have scored 2 in the inning.
Well, Kiermaier can flat out run, so you know right here there's no way you're going to have a play at first. I mean, you just can't. Mattis can't. And then Pierce right here, just a hesitation, just enough. And the throw up the line. If it's a good throw, Souza's going to be out. But he has to come up the line because it tails. And tell you, talk about speed. Souza and Kiermaier have it.
2 for 6 with runners in scoring position, and both of them haven't gone 90 feet.
About 20 days in August, back on September 1st. So the numbers with that shoulder injury, they went up a little bit, but fastball, slider, probably the best movement and slider he had since he got hurt the other night. So hopefully, and done a great job with inherited runners, which is what he wants to do here.
Runners at first and second, strike on the outside corner. Here's Haley, the catcher, batting ninth, popped out and flied out. So the RBIs in the inning. Beckham on the infield hit. Kiermaier on the infield hit, diving into first base. Both pick up RBIs. Scoring Loney and Souza with a 3-0 lead. And a swing and a foul tip off Wieters. Strange inning and a real tough one for Tillman. He's still responsible for Beckham, the lead runner.
And it all started with 2 outs on the double by Loney down the left field line. Not a bad pitch. He just had one of those nights, 3 for 3.
Orioles tried to get the pick off at first. He moved up and scored. 0-2 count. Rose delivery and stopped and did not go around. And Barber umpired first base.
Chazro, not a velocity guy. 92 for the shoulder problem. 94. And then a slider that can be devastating. A lot of movement in the strike zone. He's a Johnny Sane type of guy. Make the ball spin.
1-2 delivery on the way and a big swing and a miss. So Rowe comes on, gets a strikeout, but the damage is done. A couple of runs in on 2 hits, a walk, and an error. 3-0 Rays.
Off of Tillman, who gets catwalked. There's a home run. Ball never comes down. And then Adam Jones, 4 gold gloves, flashes the gold. Keeps the Rays off the board, and then right here, ball not hit very hard. Tillman thinks he can catch it, doesn't, makes it 2-0. They will add another run as Chris Tillman will leave the game. Geico highlights: 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. So Matt Moore had never, the last 9 starts hadn't gone more than 5, so he pitches the 6th, and now here he is in the 7th.
They will keep the bullpen active now in case help is needed by the Rays. Colomé up in the bullpen. Alex Colomé.
He's been lights out.
Moore's delivery. First ball hit to left field. Brandon Guyer will come on and put it away. Chris Davis retired on 1 pitch.
Yeah, sit around for a long inning, and boy, that extra 2 runs. make a big difference.
Tillman, 3 runs, 5 hits, 5 2/3. Mattis, no part of an inning, a hit, and then Rowe came on and got the final out. Adam Jones 0 for 2. He has struck out and flied out. Moore has not walked anybody. Has struck out 7. Orioles have a double by Reimold, a single by Jonathan Scope, and that's it. Shift on in the infield and a strike taker. Quite a ball game being thrown by Moore, and they want to keep all the positives going over there. If he gets into any kind of trouble, he'll be out of there. And a swing and a miss turned that one over, down and away.
Yeah, this is the same guy that pitched last Saturday night against the Red Sox. Gave up, 5 innings, 9 hits, 8 runs, 6 of them earned 4 home runs. But he has thrown the ball a lot better than the Red Sox. This as of late, especially on the road, better offensive team. So
another one there's 8.
Got a little help on the first pitch. Adam's still grousing about that, but he throws it over, and the Orioles aren't hitting it. And he has really mixed his pitch as well.
Right into the mitt. Right where Maley wanted it. Interesting, Maley is the catcher who was used by, who caught Moore when Moore got sent down to AAA. Moore came off that DL Tommy John, did not pitch well at all. 6 starts that weren't good, so they sent him down. And at AAA, Maley was the catcher down there. And then when they called Moore back up, they called Maley up because they liked the way he does the job with Moore, and Moore clearly likes throwing good.
Well, nothing like the communication that you can get between a pitcher and a catcher. Well, I had it with a lot of catchers. Rick Dempsey, who's sitting in the studio, but Johnny Oates, I was 10-0. It always seemed like it was the right finger that he put down.
Ooh, that's there. Leaders turning to chat. That's Barrett. Well, we told you he's been consistent with his record as an umpire, his history, and that favors pitchers.
Well, this is not news here in the 7th. It's been that way all night.
1-2 delivery outside.
And you got to take advantage of it. Let's see, has Matt Moore walked anybody? No.
Nope. 9 straight starts. No more than 5 innings. And here he is working in the 7th. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss. 9 strikeouts in the ball game for Matt Moore. 7th inning stretch time here in Tampa. And it came in the 3rd inning. Jaso, his 4th home run of the year and only the 3rd hit by a left-hander against Tillman, put him on top. Our drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer 5 years running. See why at lexusoftowson.com. 3-6-0 for the Rays, 0-2-0 for the Orioles. Rowe on the mound, a strikeout to end the 6th, works in the bottom of the 7th inning. And it is Jaso. A walk to homer, and he has grounded out. Orioles put the full shift on in the infield. And a chopper. Rowe. And an out. Pitch and an out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Help Maryland Governor Larry Hogan and the Orioles in their fight against pediatric cancer and save 50% on tickets to each game in the upcoming series against the Jays. You can visit Orioles.com/charity. Help raise funds for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and the Ronald McDonald House Charities. You can make a difference. Check it out. Orioles.com/charity.
Yeah, the Jays certainly on their way to the postseason. We got to meet the governor. Oh, nice man. Certainly wish him well in his battle against cancer.
Pitch will be taken away. Brandon Guyer. Guyer 0 for 3, robbed of a hit by Alvarez back in the 3rd inning. This is a Rays game via the numbers at this point anyway. Outside for a ball, 2-0. 2 runs, 3 hits in that 6th inning after the home run by Jaso in the 3rd. That's the offense. They've left 6. Orioles have left 2. Here's the 2-0 delivery in the air, center field. Good break by Adam.
Yeah, busy night for him, isn't it?
He got it.
Yeah, talking to Chaz Rowe out on the field early, and I said, okay, the bursitis, he got it injected. And I said, were you able to do your rotator cuff exercise? Yeah, first time I've ever done it in my career. So I would think, and he talked about it, he's, off-season program. I mean, he's really been a mainstay at this bullpen and has done a nice job. I mean, certainly his performance went down a little bit when he had the bursitis, but probably a matter of pitching a lot, and it's one of the things you can control. Do the work.
Here's Longoria, 2 down, nobody on. 5 assists, 5 putouts rather, for Adam Jones in the ball game tonight in center field, including one spectacular catch on Kiermaier that saved 2 runs back in the 4th inning. 0-1 count, 2 away. Infield shifts the other way now on Longoria. 0 for 3 in the ball game, 1 for his last 19.
They're always one swing away from a home run, as we mentioned, 5 of them against the Orioles.
Longoria going for one right there. He's had an 0 for 5 against Rowe.
Yeah, that's the slider, and it was a good one.
One ball, 2 strikes. Pitch on the way to him, and that's going to be outside. So Longoria takes 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 down. Third pitcher used by the Orioles tonight. Reimold deep in left field. And the pitch, he knew it. Yeah. It's there. So Rowe gets the strikeout, retires the side in order. We'll go to the 8th inning here at the Trop. It's a 3-0 Rays lead.
Performance by Matt Moore coming off the Tommy John surgery. 1-4 ERA over 8 runs a game. Never would have known it tonight. All kinds of pitches, established all of them early. And again, overpowering fastball, 9 strikeouts. And again, in and out and hook 'em, and velocity anywhere from 91 to 94. So outstanding. You can see a lot of curveballs tonight, and they were very effective. So Colomé Alex comes on, and boy, he's been dominating. 1 earned run since the All-Star break. 16 scoreless. He's got a real good arm, 95, 96, and a slider that just doesn't stop.
So Colomé will work in the 8th inning. Jonathan Scope, Pierce, and Hardy will be due up for the Orioles. Scope, a base hit. He is 1 for 2, extending his hit streak to 10 games. And he will foul that one back. Orioles need base runners here. Scope trying to start it out. He is a 1 for 4 off Colomé.
Yeah, it's interesting. He started and he was wild, and then they go to the bullpen. He's been spectacular, hard thrower. That's how you get to the 103 innings. But again, the command much better out of the bullpen.
Pitch on the way, will be inside for a ball. Colomé this year has got a 2-0 record against the Orioles. He's worked 11 1/3 and has not given up a run. No runs, 5 hits, and 15 strikeouts against the Orioles in 11 1/3 innings. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Colomé with that shortened delivery, and that will be a base hit. So Scope gets a leadoff single here in the 8th inning. Right back with you tomorrow night for Game 2. Tyler Wilson on the mound against Drew Smiley. Our coverage on MASN 2, 6:30 O's Extra, presented by Jeep, followed by game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN. Steve Pierce. Pierce has popped out and struck out. 0 for 4 off Colomé. The Orioles trying to get that potential tying run to the plate here in the 8th inning. Colomé's pitch goes all the way to the backstop. So Jonathan Scope will head down to second base. Off Mailey's glove that time on one that was just whipped wide by Alex Colomé.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of pitches. Just pulls this one right off the outside corner. So high slider to Scope for the hit. And the Orioles, you're normally with one earned run since the All-Star break, you're thinking, okay, this is not good, but maybe getting more out of there is good.
Yeah. Well, it couldn't get much worse for the Orioles.
So more might be more.
The Colomé now. The Orioles have a runner down at second base. Colomé's 6th wild pitch of the year, and that's going to miss outside. Pierce up, Hardy on deck.
Yeah, you would think that he would recognize that it's a big strike zone. But again, that doesn't mean you can always command your stuff, even though he's done a great job of it.
Steve Pierce with the infield shifted over. The wild pitch takes away the chance for that ground ball double play. No small matter here in the 8th inning. Inside, he's all over the place. And the count goes to 3-0.
Well, like what you hope, and he'll be taking here 3 runs down, is that again he'll start aiming it, and then the stuff won't have the movement, won't have the velocity, and maybe you can get something going here. All it takes really is one hit. Get another guy on, time run comes to the plate.
3-0 count. And that is in there for a strike. Colomé worked against the Yankees a couple of days ago. 1 inning. No runs, a hit in that appearance.
And again, because of the scoreboard and getting a 3-run lead, you have to throw something that's going to make Pierce put the ball in play here. Because if you walk him, tying run will come to the plate without him even having.
That ball lined right at him. Oh, hit hard. Brandon Guyer, no chance at second base. Pierce retired. There was right where he needed to be. As promised earlier in the game, we selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to O's Couch Cam. You might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. J.J. Hardy. Hardy has flied out twice. Scope remains at second base. 1 down. The Orioles 3 hits in the ball game. This happened in the 4th, the 5th, and the 8th. 3 hits. That's in there for a strike. Hardy 0 for 3 off Colomé. Oliver Drake in the bullpen for the Orioles. Chaz Rowe tired all 4 batters faced if he comes out of there. Shift on against Hardy. 0-1 delivery. Grounded down to third, and it's foul. Longoria picks it up in foul territory. The Orioles, of course, struggled to get a run yesterday. They ended up not picking up a run until the 9th inning in the 10-1 win by Boston. So a couple of ball games in a row where the runs have come hard.
Yeah, left-handers on the mound.
One game above 500 against left-handed starters record-wise for the Orioles this year. J.J. Hardy 0-2 count. Hardy swings and misses. Colomé gets the strikeout, 2 down.
Well, that's what he does. When he gets ahead, he can go to that slider. Scope hit it up the middle for a base hit, but that was a hanger. This one, perfect 2-strike pitch. And the illusion of a slider is a good one. It slides. You stay on top of it, it goes down. It appears to be in the hitting zone, and then it disappears.
So Parra will come on as the pinch hitter for Alvarez to get a lefty-righty matchup here. Alvarez 0 for 2 in the ball game. Runner at second, 2 down. Parra facing Colomé only once. He is 0 for 1 against him. Jonathan Scope, leadoff single, wild pitch to second, still out there. Orioles haven't had many chances. They are 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position in the ballgame. 3-0 lead for the Rays. And Parra takes the pitch up high. Parra getting some pinch hitting opportunities of late. He is 0 for 2 with the Orioles as a pinch hitter. went 9 for 16 in the National League. Pinch hitting. One 0 count. Colome's delivery to him. Parr's got to get a base hit into right field. Souza's up, runner coming. They're going to stop. Throw comes into the plate. Runner stays at third base as Jonathan Scope made a big turn but got held up.
Yeah, Bobby Dickerson at third base. Prudent play. You got the tying run coming to the plate now. Souza's got a good arm, and he makes a good throw. So what? 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position is now 1 for 15, even though you don't score the run. So Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, out. Pierce hit a rocket in the left. So again, is it communication, patience? Looks like some direction.
Steve Clevenger will pinch hit. So it gets interesting as the Orioles finally get a runner over there to third base. First and third, 2 down. Clevenger 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter. Colome will get the strike at the knees. Defense right straight up on Clevenger, infield and outfield. Colome 0-1, and that'll be fouled off 0-2, so he gets a hit.
Yeah, the grand slam that Steve hit against Kansas City was kind of a lazy slider, but that wasn't. So you can't do anything but pull a foul. So 0 for 9 last night with runners in scoring position, and 1 for 6 tonight. Trying to figure out a way to make contact, keep the ball in play, give yourself a chance. Certainly worked for Tampa Bay in that 2-run inning.
Colome, the 0-2 delivery on the way, will be up and away. 1 ball, 2 strike count. The Oriole bullpen active as Brad Brock joins Drake, who is ready to go. 1-2. Base hit right here. Really changes the complexion of this ball game. Colome has thrown 16 pitches in relief. And that one's going to be a base hit into right field. The Orioles are on the board. Jonathan Scope will score. Clevenger delivers a pinch hit RBI single. And the Orioles have made it a 3-1 ball game.
Now, we talked about the slider. He hit the first one foul. This one stays up, and he does not miss it. So a 3-4-21. There's the slider, pretty much right to the bat head, inside middle. And Steve Clevenger will leave as Ryan Flaherty will come on. That's your tying run over at first base. So nice job right there. 4 for 22 in the month of September. Big hit.
That is RBI number 14 for Steve Clevenger in his 22nd game with the Orioles this year. And the Orioles now have runners on at first and second base for Manny Machado with 2 down. A run on 5 hits for the Orioles as they put 3 of those hits up off Colome here in the 8th inning. And the pitch on the inside corner for a strike. There's nobody warming up in the bullpen for the Rays.
And there's your outfield. It's the double defense. Very deep. A lot of room in front of you. This is a big ballpark.
First run off Colome in the last 17 appearances. And Clevenger drives it home.
And nobody up behind him. You're right. That's how they trust him.
Machado, that'll be taken outside. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Manny's had an 0 for 3. A couple of ground ball outs and a pop out. Orioles power down at second base. And pinch runner Flaherty over there at first. Outfield way back. Kiermaier in center, almost back to the warning track, 400 feet away. Same true for Susan Wright. And a swing and a miss on a breaking ball away.
Yeah, the perfect slider. Well, he's got it. He doesn't always throw it where he wants to, but this one was perfectly executed. And it's hard. 90. It's almost like a cut fastball. Great movement, late movement. The good ones you don't pick up.
Only 9,617 the attendance, making some noise here in the 8th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on. Pitch on away. That's going to be a base hit into left field. Brandon Guyer, runner coming on. Throw will be cut off, and the Orioles make it a 1-run game. Again on 2 strikes here in the inning. Colomé unable to get the out. Machado delivers the RBI.
Well, better pitches to hit and good adjustments. You know, Colomé, another slider, and this time, man, if he goes to get it, it's not horribly in a bad position. It's outside quarter of the plate, but plate coverage. Can you cut your swing down with 2 strikes? Manny Machado does it, and there's your second run.
So the Orioles now just 1 away from tying it. Runners still at first and second. Each team now with 6 hits. And how can you not have somebody up in the bullpen?
Well, they have some lefties. You know, Cedeno's got a rib problem. McGee is active, but he's got a knee problem. You got Riefenhauser, and then you got Enny Romero. So those are your 2 lefties, and none of them got up to face Chris Davis.
Davis 0 for 6 off Colomé. Swings at the first one. For Davis tonight, he has struck out, flied out, grounded out. DH for the Orioles in the ball game. Ryan Flaherty, the base runner at second base. Manny Machado at first. With 2 down, they put the full shift on as Colomé has surrendered 2 runs on 4 hits here in the 8th inning. Colomé's delivery. Davis a bouncer. Runners are going to move up. That's going to be a wild pitch. He's just all over the place.
Yeah, he's been so good, as we mentioned, since the All-Star break. And again, he was a starter at the beginning of the year. 1 run since the break. And everything's gone up in the sense of getting good since he got out of the starting rotation. And he just throws this one right in the ground. And Maley no chance of keeping it in front of him.
Second wild pitch in the inning. Now you got 2 in scoring position. A base hit here, and the Orioles, just like that, can be on top. And that outfield still miles away in the outfield. Colomé's delivery. Davis will take the pitch up high. And there hasn't even been a visit to the mound.
No. Well, actually, Hickey did come out. Yeah, he did.
He did.
It was a while ago. And you're wondering, I mean, are you going to pitch to him? Because you do have first base open. Now they're going to walk him.
And now the bullpen will scurry a bit, but nobody's throwing yet. This will be the first walk the Orioles have picked up in the ball game.
I mean, they have some guys like Steve Gultz, and they have a lot of guys. You know, Boxberger's their closer. Some guys actually have pretty good years down there.
So the bases are loaded here in the 8th inning. The Orioles will send their 8th batter to the plate. That'll be Adam Jones. Kirby Yates. That's the first warm-up toss he's taken.
Yeah, he's had a couple of scoreless outings after having 6 straight where they hit home runs. So he was really struggling.
Jones is 0 for 8 off Colomé. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 2 runs in to make it a 1-run game.
Brandon Gomes has been red hot down in their bullpen, but they have talk about a patient manager, Kevin Cash.
Here's the biggest moment of the ball game so far. Adam Jones, he's going to get a base hit into right field. Souza up, runner coming to the plate. Here's a throw, not in time. A 2 RBI single. And the Orioles have taken a 4-3 lead here in the 8th inning.
Well, excuse me. There's a lot of definitions for this kind of hit, but excuse me, because he doesn't try to swing. I mean, it's almost like played pepper with Sousa out and right, and then it's a mad dash. Of course, Machado can run, so he easily scores with 2 outs. They give him the plate. He takes it. Wow.
What a comeback by the Orioles, shut down completely by Mike Moore, who gave up no runs on 2 hits in 7. Colome has coughed it up.
Well, it could be a very unforgiving, very cruel game. Moore pitched that well. But again, it's a team game, so you leave, and the bullpen has to come to your rescue. And Colome, who's been great, hasn't been that tonight.
And here's Matt Wieters. Runners on at first and second base. Davis and Jones, as Adam responds to the intentional pass in front of him by delivering the bases loaded base hit, and RBIs numbers 79 and 80 for Adam on the year. Wieters is the 9th Oriole to hit here in the 8th inning. And Matt will take it inside for a ball.
You know, I think a lot of times for managers, and of course Kevin Cash at 37, this is his first year. It's sometimes when you get a guy on a roll as a starting pitcher, it's hard to relieve him, especially if he's a star. But relievers, when they struggle, even though you've been good, it's pretty easy. You've got 11 of them out there. And he's gone a long, long way with Colome tonight.
2-0 count. Wieters has the 3 Ks. He will take that pitch for a strike. He has been in disagreement with home plate umpire Lance Barrett in every at-bat.
Except he's doing the catching, so he doesn't want to disagree. And that's a ball, but it's been a strike tonight.
What an inning for the Orioles. 4 runs in. They now have out-hit the Rays 7-6. Davis the lead runner. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Colome's delivery. Wieters will take it at the knees. And the count goes to 2-2. Chris trying to avoid that golden sombrero with the 3 Ks. Matt brother.
Well, I think he better be swinging here. Anything close. Trying to get a good pitch to hit, so he took one that was high. Thought that one was probably low, but it's been a big strike zone. One thing about Lance Barrett, he's been consistent.
He's not faced Colome before. Wieters 2-2. Colome's delivery to him, a bouncer way out in front. Nice stop again made. Maley put the body in front of it off the protector. Well, the Orioles have done it all on singles here in the inning. As far as the hits are concerned, 4 singles, an intentional pass, 2 wild pitches. Should move runners along. Machado an RBI base hit. Jones.
How are you going to spread that hit? Excuse me. Thank you very much.
I'll take it.
You got that right.
3-2 delivery and a swing and a miss. So Colome ends it, but the Orioles do the damage. A 4-run 8th inning highlighted by Adam Jones' 2 RBI single, and the Orioles lead it by 1. Playoffs ongoing.
Yeah, Reading, of course, they benefited by the Cole Hamels trade. Talking around Rizzi, one of the scouts for the Nationals, said, boy, they got a powerhouse. Bowie wins the first one. They win the next 2. Jake Thompson with a nice performance. And then again, not over. Series is not over, nor is this game as Brad Brock will come in. Fastball, slider, change-up pitcher. Been very reliable for the Orioles. And what they need is the Orioles with a 1-run lead looking for 6 outs before the Rays put anything on the board. Low numbers all across the board. You can see a little bit more of a fly ball pitcher.
Steve Pearce in left field had been at first. Pyra, who pinch hit, stays in for Alvarez in right. Ryan Flaherty, who pinch ran, stays in at first base. And the bottom of the 8th inning. So Rowe becomes the pitcher of record for the Orioles. He went an inning in the third, gave nothing up, had 2 strikeouts. Logan Forsythe an 0 for 3. Loney, Souza. And the Orioles just kept grinding, and as a result have a 1-run lead. They're in the bottom of the 8th inning. And that miss outside.
Yeah, Luke Maley made the last out with Jazz Rowe, got out of that 2-run, 6th inning. He ends up getting a base hit. That 2 runs could have been a lot more.
Forsythe, 1 ball, 1 strike count. Brad Brock's delivery to him, and that's right there. Well, the Orioles, they battered around in the 8th inning. And Colomé went all the way through it with the bases loaded. Base hit by Jones the other way. Put the Orioles on top. That'll be in the dirt, bouncing off the shin guards.
Yeah, the attempt of trying to get Logan Forsythe to chase a changeup, but it wasn't close enough. And his change has enough movement. It's almost like a split-fingered fastball in the sense it drops, it goes down. Strikeout, ground ball pitch for Brad.
Only 1 at bat against Brock. He is 0 for 1. And a chopper. Reached for 1 just to protect on that one. Yeah, the Orioles have won only 3 games where they've trailed after 7 innings, 3 and 64.
Well, it's hard to do. You know, the way they sequence their way through the bullpens. And, you're always matching up, especially when you get into the postseason. Red Sox had 12 relievers. The Orioles had 12.
There's no sequencing in that inning. And a swing and a miss. He gets the K.
Yeah, no sequencing to that low and away fastball at 94. So when you get a big strike zone, it allows you to get ahead, and then if you know how to pitch, and Brad Brock's on that list, perfect pitch. I mean, outside, almost quarter of the plate. Nice movement. Again, Brad's big enough, and he's got to have one of those wind-ups. If you're right-handed, it steps right at you. Very deceptive.
James Loney, he's had the big night. 2 singles, a double, has scored a run. 3 of the 6 hits for the Rays are his. And the pitch will miss down low for a ball. Loney with a 2 for 7 off Brock. So the 2 starters non-decision. Tillman 3 runs 5 hits, 5 2/3 for the Orioles, and Moore no runs 2 hits 7 innings for the Rays. That one lifted to center. Jones 2 down. Yates has been throwing in the bullpen, and Boxberger now joins him.
Right fielder, number 20, Stevens.
Yeah, they put a rally together. They bring in their closer, Boxberger. 30 saves, but he's also got 10 losses, 6 blown saves.
2 down here in the 8th inning, nobody on. Souza, a walk, a run scored in the 6th inning. Has been on all 3 times to the plate, 2 walks and hit by a pitch. Jaso, the home run, RBI. Beckham RBI single. Kiermaier RBI single. Those 2 came in the 6th inning, and it looked like at that point the Rays were on their way. Not so. Jaso
had 2 infield hits to get run number 2 and 3 for the Rays tonight.
0-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be taken low.
Well, you certainly can't fault Kevin Cash for going to Colomé. He's been that good. He just didn't.
You can't fault him leading him in, though.
Well, no doubt about that.
There are going to be some questions asked after the ball game. Now, maybe there's a reason, but there certainly were people in the bullpen. And that pitch is taken. Hey, the Orioles are more than happy that he stayed. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Kevin spent most of the inning talking to his pitching coach, standing together in that 8th inning. 2-1. And the pitch will be outside. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Souza trying to get on with Beckham waiting on deck. 4-7-1 the Orioles. 3-6-0 the Rays. 3-1 delivery and grounded foul. Two different games offensively for the Orioles. First 7, and then that 4 runs, 5 hits. First 7 belonged to Moore, and the 8th belonged to Colomé.
Well, Kevin Gash did the right thing. I mean, Moore pitched a magnificent game. Coming off Tommy John, you go to your bullpen.
And he walked it.
Good eye.
So Brad Brock surrenders a 2-out walk. So that's 4 times up, 4 times on, 3 walks, and a hit by pitch to Souza. And Sizemore coming out to pinch hit. He will be up for Beckham.
Well, he was belting him out at spring in batting practice today. And said, "Are you playing?" "Nope." He said, "I'm coming off the bench." And that's why they have Boxberger out. Because if he runs one in here, they're going to go with the lead to their closer.
So the veteran Grady Sizemore will stand in with a runner on at first base and 2 down. Brad Brock looking for the 3rd out now. Sizemore, 228 average with the Rays. Throw over, not far off the bag. 6 home runs, 17 RBIs in the 48 games he has played in. Only 149 at bats.
Well, he can turn on some balls, and he's very much John Jaso. That's what he did to Tillman. Ball was up and in. Hit the catwalk. I don't know if he'll turn that pitch. Perfect fastball, 92 on the corner.
Orioles up by 1. Bottom of the 8th inning. 1 on and 2 down. Sizemore as a pinch hitter has gone 2 for 10. A couple of pinch hit RBIs. Brock with the 0-1 delivery. Sizemore into the shift. Short hop, Jonathan Schoop, and that will do it. So the Rays are retired. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We go to the 9th inning with the Orioles comeback lead 4-3. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by PNC for the achiever in you. Interesting ball game here as the Orioles now have a 4-3 lead going to the 9th. Kirby Yates.
Yeah, you'd like to add some as Yates come on. A couple of scoreless outings, up and down 4 times. Last year, AAA Durham. The year before that, their minor league pitcher of the year out of Hawaii. So the numbers this year obviously not where he would like them. Doesn't walk a whole lot of guys, but then again in 6 straight appearances before the last 2 scoreless, home runs in each one of them. So that's why the home run in a low amount of innings is at 8. Righties and lefties. Lefties hitting him a lot better.
So the Orioles will try and add to their lead. Franklin has come on to play at short for Beckham, who was pinch hit for. And Jonathan Schoop stands in. Schoop started that 8th inning with a base hit and was the first to score. 4 would cross the plate in the 8th against Column A. He worked 1 inning and gave up 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 intentional pass, and a couple of strikeouts. Oriole bullpen will be active, but it is not Zach Britton. Infield shifted around, and the pitch will be taken outside for a ball.
Well, we talked about the home runs. Now you get 2-0. Jonathan can look for his pitch. Relax, as you just saw. Look, fastball inside half, outside half. Throws a breaking ball. If you pick it up, take it. The hitter's count's mean.
2-0 count, and a swing on a pitch up.
Yeah, normally it's up tonight. A little different as Darren O'Day gets loose for the Orioles.
Two ball, 1 strike count on Schoop. Yates with a 2-1 delivery, and that'll be fouled back. So Yates comes back on him. Evens the count up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. TJ Ruffenhauser in the bullpen for a matchup if desired. Two balls, 2 strikes. Infield will move back around now out of the full shift, and the pitch. Just missed.
Yeah, he wanted this. I mean, it's kind of a backdoor. I'm not sure if it's on purpose, but usually want to throw the slider away, but it spins. And then Maile catches it. All night the close pitches have been called strikes. Not that one though.
3-2. Yates delivery, and that ball in the air will come back to right. Souza's there. Jonathan Scope retired, one away, top of the 9th inning. Orioles are trying to win their 7th out of their last 9 ball games. Trying to get back to 500. They're 71-74. Buck Showalter's club with an amazing comeback so far. In the game controlled by the pitchers early on, and the Orioles got to column A in that 8th inning. Here is Steve Pearce. Pearce has an 0 for 3 in the ball game. And the pitch is in there for a strike.
Yeah, the irony of that inning, for at least for Steve Pearce, is the ball that was hit the hardest is the one he made an out with. I mean, he torched one right at the left fielder.
Yates delivery to him, had a weight on it, hit it over the top. Longoria running throw, nice play.
Yeah, get to it and make the eve. Again, if you wait back, it's going to be a base hit. Come in, Gold Glover, short hop, get rid of it quickly.
Shortstop, J.J. Hardy.
Nicely done.
And there are 2 down. Nobody on. Hardy coming up. Hardy 0 for 3 in the ball game. Rays in the bottom of the 9th inning will have Kiermaier, Maile, and Jaso at the top of the order due up. 8, 9, and 1. Hardy will take the pitch. Another one bends in for a strike. JJ 2 for 3 lifetime off Yates. Here's the 0-1 delivery to him, and that's going to be in there as well. Showalter said before the game, I'm concerned about my bullpen. I've got some arms down there I really don't want to have to use or can't use. I wonder if one of those is Zach Britton.
Yeah, I would think that it seems like he pitched every night. And, with the exception of last night. Came out a little bit late today.
0-2 check swing. Did he go? No.
Yeah, Buck does a tremendous job of protecting his pitchers, especially the relievers. I mean, that Zach wouldn't like to be in there, but you can trust your other guys.
So Day's ready to close it out.
I get a little cringy when you say Kiermaier because he's their speed guy.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Hardy. It's delivery to him in the air to right field. Souza puts it away. So the Orioles are retired in order in the 9th. So buckle them up, sports fans. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. O'Day will come on and look for a save and preserve a win. And instead of Zach Britton, it will be Darren O'Day for the save.
Well, so you get another All-Star. Darren making his first All-Star team. 2 out of 6 when it comes to saves. You can see it down there. Marvelous year again. A lot of strikeouts, not a lot of walks. It's hard to tell. They don't really run on him a lot. 1 out of 4 that they've been able to throw out. Low numbers, both righties and lefty fly ball. And then Kiermaier, who does hit righties better than lefties, and he has 16 out of 20. Their speed guy leading it off here in the 9th.
Kiermaier is 2 for 3 off O'Day. Interesting situation for Darren. He is 0 for 1 in save opportunities this year against Tampa Bay, and 1 for 5 against them in his career. And Kiermaier swing and a miss. Kiermaier a base hit. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Maile due up, and then Jaso at the top of the order. So the Orioles for a 1-run victory. They are 20-24 in 1-run games. Pitch is there for a strike at the knees, and Kiermaier's behind 0-2.
Yeah, probably the way I would look at it from watching Darren O'Day pitch, it's probably happenstance. It's not about tension. It's not about getting nervous. It's because he usually comes in with more critical situations with runners on than you do when you save games.
Kiermaier foul tips, held on to, and there's one.
So a couple of breaking balls, and then the riser, the upshoot. A little different spin for hitters, and that one foul tip. I don't know if anybody catches the foul tip better than Matt Wieters. Just a little one, but gets the top of the glove, and he hangs on. Otherwise, Kiermaier would have got another strike to hit.
Daniel Nava is coming out to pinch hit. The veteran who was with the Red Sox. So Nava will stand in with one down here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. He has seen O'Day before. Daniel Nava is 2 for 6 off the Oriole reliever. One down, ninth inning. Orioles up by 1. Pitch by O'Day to him. Wheel missed down low for a ball.
Yeah, it's just amazing how Daniel Nava, better hitter, home run power is from the left side. You can see the pinch hitting numbers, and they're not particularly glowing, but he can walk with the best of them. I'm down in the cage. I said, I bet you sleepwalk? I said, you walk anytime. It's just unbelievable. He knows the strike zone. Usually works the count where you got to throw him a strike, and there is one. Good breaking ball tonight by Darren O'Day.
Nava with the Tampa's gone 2 for 6 as a pinch hitter, 2 for 12 on the year. Nava with a 1-ball-1-strike count and 1 down. O'Day trying to finish it off. Rowe, the pitcher of record for the Orioles, looking for a win in relief, working an inning and a third with a couple of strikeouts. Nava swings through it as O'Day keeps the pitches away. 1-2.
Yeah, he can sink it, Gary, as you know, and then he could ride it. That was a little rider. The master of deception, the master of changing speeds in and out, up and down, change your eye level.
1-ball-2-strike count. Jaso waiting on deck. The Orioles' 4-run 8th inning has given them a chance to win this ball game. And a chopper down to first base, foul ball. Flaherty down there, and O'Day will come back with a 1-2 count again. Orioles 2 hits through 7 innings. We're behind at that point 3-0. 4 runs, 5 hits in the 8th. 180-degree turn. Tillman the starter. Good ball game. 3 runs, 5 hits, 5 2/3. It's just to make Moore pitch better than he did. Nava waiting. 1-2. And he'll go the other way with it. Pierce will make the catch. 2 down.
Kind of looked into the glove and then made sure it was there. Well, Moore was almost perfect tonight. That's how good he was. Yeah, even when he gave up the leadoff double to Nolan Reimold over the bag, able to get out of that trouble. I don't know if he can pitch a whole lot better than he pitched. It's a team game now, especially going off Tommy John. They go to the bullpen, and the Orioles take advantage of it.
One more out needed by O'Day. The shift is put on. Jaso, the home run, came in the 3rd inning. He's drawn a walk. Has grounded out twice. 2 down, 9th inning, and nobody on. Darren O'Day's delivery to him will be a strike. Caught the corner and at the knees. Jaso 1 for 4 off Darren. Darren after his 3rd save of the year. 0-1 count. And that'll be away. 1-ball-1-strike count. Adam Jones, even in this situation in center field, stays a little bit shallower than most center field would in this prevent D in the outfield usually. You don't want to run her to get to second. Put the ball in front of you. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery to him, and that will miss down low, 2-1.
Yeah, he may take a step now. I think a lot of times you play the count. I figured that O'Day is going to maybe have to throw a strike here, certainly. But Geyer on deck doesn't, Geyer's been slept, so maybe a step or two, but it doesn't seem like he's moving a lot.
Just to get the seeds. 2-1 delivery on the way. Jaso trying to tie it up, fouls it back. 2-2.
Well, similar to the pitch he got for the home run off Tillman, but again, it's a whole different story with Darren O'Day because he's so unconventional with the windup and the release point so different. Probably see it once every 6 weeks when the Orioles and the Rays get together. Nobody else throws that way.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Bottom of the 9th. Rays down to their final strike to work with. O'Day's delivery to him and didn't go. So a full count, 3-2. Now if Jaso gets on, Brandon Geyer's due up next.
And they'll probably pinch run for him.
He did hold up.
Well, he's a tough out in the sense that he usually can discern between a ball and a strike. And it forces you to throw it over the plate.
O'Day trying to finish it right here. 3-2 delivery. Ball in the air to center field. And Adam Jones back with room. Ball game is over. And what a comeback win for the Orioles. O'Day comes on and retires the side in order. And a 4-run 8th inning will give the Orioles a 4-3 win. Rowe goes 4-2. Colomé 6-5, the loser, and O'Day is third save. A big victory in Game 1. Tyler Wilson will try and make it 2 in a row tomorrow. He'll be on the mound against Drew Smiley. Our coverage on MASN 2 begins at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by Jeep, followed by game coverage at 7. This has been a MASN presentation. O's Extra, presented by PNC's, coming up right now. The happy recap. Jim and Rick will have it for you and look at an 8th inning where the Orioles get the offense going and just enough to win it. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew here in St. Petersburg, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks, everybody. Have yourself a great remainder of the night. Do-a-do.